Can be my eyes and ears. I just pressed one again. Jeez, what's wrong with me? Right, that was okay because it's streaming. That's fine. So I'll start, Dwayne. Welcome, Dwayne, to a bit of T20 cricket on the MV channel. I know you've taken an interest, as a few others have as well. I know Beatles knows cricket from living in Europe. And today we're going to be looking at Cricket 24, which I've run a few times, an older version of this game. So Dwayne, tell me as we get set up, I think you kind of know how to choose a team. And I'm just going to go over the rules of the game for those who may be joining us. Oh, may not. Maybe it's just you and I, Dwayne.
Oh, that's good, man.
That's fine. But this time you're going to choose the team. Now tell me if you can see it on your screen or not. Is it come up?
It'll be a little bit of a lag.
Yeah, a little lag. That's fine. But you and I are live together, so it should be okay if I control it my end. So 1 second. This is the music. I can't play all of the clip that went with cricket throughout the 60s and 70s by a famous soul band called Booker T and the MGs. And here we go.
I'm not hearing any of that because of going through Discord.
But everyone else can.
Otherwise,
That's fine. That's why we get feedback. That's absolutely correct. So hopefully it's open now. I think I'm broadcasting. Just double checking.
Yeah, you're broadcasting right now. I'm seeing where you got on the ump editor.
Excellent. So we are up and running.
Yeah.
So a bit of T20 today. And for those who may be following on YouTube, it's about a couple of seconds behind Dwayne and I. But we're doing a bit of T20. And T20 was a version of cricket, which is, there's three versions. The long version, which is Test cricket, otherwise known as red ball cricket. In fact, there's a few versions actually. Red ball cricket, which is the Test cricket, but it could also be first class cricket. Think major leagues and think AAA or the minors. If you're playing red ball cricket, it's the long version. In first class cricket, it's the long version. And they're normally 4 days, normally. The Test cricket is a maximum of 5 days of cricket, normally playing about 6 hours a day. So hopefully that makes a bit of sense. Most games in this era of cricket don't go the full 5 days. Normally a team is more dominant than another. There's another game of cricket, a little version that came around in the 60s and went through a slump until very recently. In fact, as recently as 6 weeks ago, we had a World Cup and it seemed to just rejuvenated everyone's interest in the sport of one-day international cricket. And the reason why that came about was in, I think it was 68 or 69, a test match was abandoned. So rather than everyone lose their money on the tickets, Australia and England played a one-day international. Each team played about 60 overs each. An over, by the way, in modern times is 6 deliveries per over, or see it as 6 pitches per over. That makes sense, Dwayne, hopefully. I think you know that anyway by now. And that version is 50 overs per side. Each bowler has 10 overs, i.e. 6 balls, so they get 60 balls to do their damage, if that makes sense. The batsmen have to make many runs without losing all of their wickets. They have 10 wickets, which is 10 people, 10 chances to be out or lose a player, kind of like outs in a baseball game. You're only allowed 10 outs as a maximum. Sometimes teams bat without losing anybody, which is very rare. So you saw that yesterday, I think, Dwayne, where there was like 5 out and the innings came to an end. In T20, it's 20 overs, so 20 times 6 is, I don't even know, my maths is not that good, Dwayne. This was 20 times 6. But that's the maximum amount of pitches or deliveries. Yeah, go ahead.
It'd be 120.
Yeah, there you go. That's the maximum, right? So you're going to have a bash at this T20 game.
Now in Test cricket,
Yeah.
MV rather, how did they score 100 runs, one batter, so they don't have a bunch of over? As long as you keep getting,
you could go on infinite.
batting, they don't switch back and forth.
Yeah, the batting record in what we call Test cricket and also first class cricket, I think someone has scored, top of my mind, Brian Lara of the West Indies, about 20 years ago scored, now I have to really remember this, in red ball cricket, i.e. the first class like AAA, he scored something like 380 in one innings. Can you imagine? Like, yeah, so he's probably batted over a couple of days, 2 or 3 days. I remember it, and he scored a magical 400, nearly 400. In fact, the record.
Cricket, they still have overs, and it's still
Yeah,
6 pitches and over.
that's correct. Yeah, that's correct. But in a
Now,
day,
how many times can a bowler pitch in a
unlimited,
Test cricket?
unlimited. Probably till he's tired, and of
'Cause I know he
course,
was talking about these Australian boys with their not getting much rest because the batsman wasn't doing well staying on the field.
that's
Because
right.
once you get your 10 wickets, then you're off and they start
That's
another
right.
inning, correct?
That's right. So if your batters are really
Wow.
poor, if you're playing Test cricket, the 5 day version, where each team bats twice, and that's normally enough time to get a result. And it can be tied, it can be drawn.
They kept conceding they was so far ahead.
That's right. You got you.
So
You got it.
they would still have wickets and they would stop.
That's it. So
Right.
if you're so far ahead, and you think you bowled your team out twice, you can declare, and then put the other team into bat, and say your team makes 550 in say 2.5 days. That's a good score. You need to bat twice really, because it wouldn't be enough time anyway. Then your bowlers have to do the damage to bowl the opposition out twice over the remaining few days. And normally, if you've got a lead of 500, you're home and dried. But we've seen in cricket,
Test cricket, you also have a time limit on top of the
yeah,
over.
there is a rule in the amount of overs you should bowl in a day. It's roughly about 90 overs. In England, it's I think there's a time limit in the summer, 7 o'clock in the evening. It's they call play for the end of day, and you go to day 2. You have lunch roughly at about 12:45, I think. Depends on which country you're playing in. It normally starts at 10 o'clock in the morning. 2 hours of batting or 2 hours of play. Lunch is normally an hour. Then again, 2 hours of what they call after lunch is 2 more hours, and then you have tea, say 4 o'clock, and then you have another break, and then a shorter break, like 45 minutes, where they have sandwiches and orange juice, and then you go to the final session. There's 3 sessions in a day, effectively 2 hours each, and you have a break, 3 breaks, lunch break and a tea break. Yeah, that's it. And then you go to the second day, the third, and the fourth. Now weather can come into it as well, but the version we're playing today is T20. So it's 20 overs per team. So as we said, 120 balls or pitches, as you call it in the States and Canada, and it's a fast-paced game. It's very exciting. Most resembles baseball, as you know. It's because you're trying to get as many runs as possible at the fastest rate possible to make it difficult for the opposition that comes in to follow you. Normally, the team batting second in a T20 has the advantage of knowing what to chase. Like you saw yesterday with Australia playing India. I think India won in the end. They just won because they just scored a massive amount of runs in the first place. But Australia came pretty close, if you remember. Yeah. So
Yes, they did.
They did indeed. So we've got a few teams that play Test cricket or international cricket, as we know. So the men's international teams, Australia, the most, you can tell by the rating, 84, is dominant. They are the current world champions of Test cricket. India are probably the best team in all of cricket, Test cricket, one-day international cricket, and also T20, but they just lost the World Cup in front of 130,000 fans in their own stadium. They won 10 in a row in the World Cup and lost the final to the Aussies. The T20 world champions at the moment are Australia. So these two are probably the richest world cricket at the moment. England also are very powerful. They were the one-day champions, went into this World Cup and lost badly. I don't think they won many games. I think they only won 2. Some of these teams are new, and not new, they've been around for ages, but they're not powerful. They're just making their way, like Bangladesh. Would you believe Afghanistan have a team? And they're pretty good at the shorter versions of the game. More traditional is Pakistan and Sri Lanka, the South Africans, and the West Indies, and Zimbabwe. The rest are pretty small. There's even one for the United States of America. So it's a growing sport, as you know. New Zealand are also huge as well. So, without further ado, Dwayne, any questions before we go to the next spot? These are all the tournaments. The game is called Cricket 24. Cricket is a huge sport across what we call the Commonwealth. So the old British Empire, the British, it's very empire driven. And Yeah, that's that. So here we have all the teams I've made over the years for the community, and they are famous teams like the 1948 Australians. You can see the labels. Then I've done decade teams. It's crazy. I go really root deep with this stuff. But we're digging into it. So, without further ado, which team would you like, Dwayne? Which team? Look at the ratings.
If out of the three, you can make sure, because I'm watching that the test on that Amazon.
Yeah.
One of the three teams you picked could be either England, Australia, or India, because that's the three teams that was on there. I know some of the players by watching that last night.
So you watched the test on Amazon. There's two season 1 and season 2. It's how did you find it?
On like episode 3.
How did you find it? Oh, you're episode 3. How do you find? Now you've got an understanding of cricket. How did you? What's your opinion of the sport?
Like I say, I was amazed on one guy, because watching this T20, one guy scoring 100. Do they call it runs or points?
Runs.
MV.
Runs.
Scoring 100 runs when he was at bat. I'm like, geez, you Pete's. It's crazy. I mean, I realized that was over a whole day.
Yeah, that's over a day. Well, they can do it in T20 too.
The one boy, it was both boys from India. Of course, the guy that you said's the best cricket player in the world that starts with a V.
Virat Kohli.
Yeah, and then the other boy starts with a B.
India.
Real good at Test cricket and doesn't play.
Oh yeah,
else.
Bumrah, Jasprit Bumrah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
They scored over 100 runs in one freaking day. Man, they was kicking Australia's butt.
Yeah, it's a really cool. What similarities do you see between it and baseball?
You got your like not again, I'm terrible with names.
Yeah.
The boy with the V, he's
Virat.
a power hitter, and that other boy was a control batter and just wore the bowlers down, more or less is what they said out there in that heat. He just kicked their butt.
The man you're talking about is Virat
and
Kohli.
He was getting runs instead of getting wickets. He wasn't scoring for a while, but he just wore them down.
He did.
Just kept, I guess in baseball, he kept like fouling it off, is what you would call it.
That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. How difficult have you found it to kind of get into the rules of? Because there's so many different. There's 3 main variations of cricket: Test cricket, the long war version, one-day international cricket.
Simplifying it too much. I don't think I'm having much trouble, MV, because I probably don't know half the rules, and I think I do know them. You know what I'm saying?
That's cool. That's kind of how I got into baseball. I didn't know the rules, but gradually, if you keep watching it, it suddenly starts to make sense. So we're going to try and find, without me pressing the number 1 key.
Now, the one rule I don't understand is when they get hit with the ball, sometimes it's a wicket and sometimes it's not.
When you say you're going to hit on their body?
Documentary that they didn't protest it or go for replay, and he was all pissed off at I think his name starts with a K.
India or Australia?
Yeah, Australia. He didn't ask for a replay, and the freaking coach got pissed at him. But, he didn't know if it hit his glove or not.
Khawaja, Osman Khawaja. Yeah.
A big old boy.
Yeah. Here we go. So we're going to do a game, a T20 game, Dwayne. Like I said, I don't know who's in the chat. I'm not looking at the chat. So
got Beatles in there, Big Clues in here.
We got Beatles Eternally here.
Time Machine.
Hello, everybody. I'm not looking at it at the moment. But Beatles, we made you a team yesterday. Yeah, in your favorite colors. But unfortunately, if you look at the overall, they're 96. Because I put all the best players ever in one team. And I thought, let me create some teams with Dwayne, So we did your team, but we're going to use that one. That'll be unfair. So sorry, Beatles. But we're going to use international teams. If I go to the right, there's the 2 teams. I will just click on select side. I'll make the AI play as both of us. So there it is. Australia versus India. And then we're going to choose the match settings. It's a T20 game. Now, there will be some stuttering at the beginning of the game when I do actually put it on, because I think I've downloaded so much stuff, audio stuff, from my work onto my PC, my gaming PC, which I shouldn't do, but it's faster. It's actually ended up slowing down my games. I have to take them all out soon. Anyway, T20, you can see that the pitch is hard. It's a standard pitch, or we call it wicket as well. And somebody asked me, what's those wooden things? It was Mike Silver. They're called stumps. The whole area here between here and here, that's the wicket. Although, taking someone's scalp, so to speak, is also called a wicket. Taking their wicket, yeah, it means they're out, like a strikeout. Okay, it's temperature's reasonably hot. There's no wind. You're reading the play.
What's the stuff they put on top of the stumps?
Pardon me, sorry?
They put two things on top of the stumps. What's that called?
Bales. They're called bales, absolutely. And if they get dislodged, you're out. If you get caught, you're out. If the ball hits the wicket or the stumps, you're out. If you run when you've hit the ball and the ball is retrieved by the fielder and hits the stumps before you cross the line, you're out. Kind of like rounding third and sliding for home.
You got to put your bat down.
That's right.
Before you cross, right?
So which team are you going to be? Australia or India?
I know the Australians because watching that test.
Good. Okay. So what I'm going to do is press Z for edit lineup. Now you can choose your lineup here, right? So, but there's a theory behind it. In T20, it's most like baseball in my opinion. For those watching, you can see I've got the cursor on Mitch Marsh, who's actually in the news at the moment today. If you Google him, he's in a lot of trouble in India because he did something really disrespectful and with the trophy, and he's been, I think he was rubbing it in a bit, and of course they didn't like it. But here you can see his technical skills. Can you see here? 74 means he's technically good at holding the bat. Defense 69. So from a batsman's point of view, are they very technical or not? Someone like, if in baseball terms, someone like Ted Williams was very technical. So that's the best comparison I could kind of make. The best technical player in Australia is Steve Smith. In terms of attack, it's really their mindset. So Travis Head, for example, a left-hander, is a very good, very attacking mindset. And of course, if he's scoring this out of 100, he's not really that interested in defense. But that's his ability to play defensive shots. This is his ability to attack. So you can kind of get an idea. Delivering control is really about the bowlers. You know, delivery is how many variations, what's their stuff like, if I could say. And control means
Pat Cummings their best bowler.
That's right. You know, he's a captain. There you go. But there is another. If you keep going down the list, so you only have 11 players on the pitch, and it's a mixture of batsmen and bowlers. And if you're lucky, if you see the bat and ball icon, it means they can do both to varying degrees. So Stoinis, who we saw last night, Smith can bowl, Head can bowl, and if Head is a genuine all-rounder, apparently, according to this. I was just having a look, just making sure. But the ones with the ball, they are bowlers. They're not that great at batting, as you can tell by their stats, but they can bowl. So I'm going to give you the choice. Now, just to give a bit of strategy, the top in T20 particularly, you want to get off to a good start, because within the first 6 overs, or the first 36 pitches, deliveries we call it, the defensive team is only allowed 2 players outside the ring. You know that yourself now, Dwayne. So you want to put aggressive people as best possible, but have a balance, because you don't want to go too aggressive and everyone's out, and then suddenly you've got no batters left because you've taken too much risk. So strewn throughout this is a lot of people who you want someone to finish well, because by the 14th over, if you've got a lot of wickets intact, you want to go attacking. As you saw from the 14th over, they tend to go attacking. So without further ado, so everyone's waiting. I don't know who's in the chat. They're probably buggered off now. You can just see.
You're doing great.
All right. So in here, you can choose. Now you see, this is how Beatles felt when he was doing his love. What is it now? The dead ball. Because you defend your own thing. You know, you're passionate about your own thing. So this is cricket. I'm passionate about baseball, cricket. I'll let you choose. Have a quick. I'll scan down because I know you're new to the team. You go ahead. I'll just. You might want to change someone. Wicket keeper. That's the wicket keeper behind the stumps. It's kind of like the catcher.
What they got there now? Do they got that Bailey in there?
Oh, you know. Oh, look at you with your knowledge.
No, I know some of these guys like say,
I'm impressed. Bailey's George Bailey you're talking about. He's in the game, but he's not in the squad. Here's a guy looking at the stats. David Warner is a 94 technical, Not much on
He wasn't
defense.
playing when I was watching this test because he was suspended.
He was well. Look at you with your knowledge. Mitchell
Yeah,
Stark.
Bailey
Another.
became the captain.
I think Bailey did for a time. I can't remember who became the captain, but you're right. What about this guy, Mitchell Stark? What do you think of him?
Now he was suspended too.
No, Stark was all right. He might have been out, but he was.
Oh no, I thought you meant that David Warner you had highlighted.
Yeah, yeah, Warner was definitely, but he's just about to retire in real life. So you want to keep it as it is, just for the sake of the broadcast?
Well, can you put that David Warner in there?
Yeah, smart man, smart man. I like your thinking. So what we do is go to the top, take out one of the openers, although they can still play. Which one do you want to remove, Mitch Marsh or Travis Head? The overall kind of gives you their overall. So kind of, yeah.
I'll keep Head in there because I watched him play some.
There you go. I'll give you a little tip because these are test players as well as short version players. Let's have a look. Let's go down the list. See if you recognise. There's a guy called who's pretty good. Kawaja's for test cricket really, but look at his technicals. He's 100, 87 attack, 61 defence. Labuschagne.
Was he the guy that liked to argue with the coach?
Oh, there's a few. I can't remember watching it. I remember his documentaries a while ago, but I would recommend Tim David's. Not bad. 81 defence, 78 attack. He's decent. The guy I would consider, just to help you out a little bit, is the guy here, a couple of guys, Carey, wicketkeeper, and a guy called Marnus Labuschagne, who is a young, excellent player, but he's not overly attacking, but he's also pretty balanced. He's very technical. Nathan Lyon is known as the GOAT. He plays test cricket, not so much the shorter versions. He's a bowler, so you can see from here. He's probably on the decline now because his fielding stats are not that great.
What good is that Glenn Maxwell?
Yeah, he's the
I
man.
watched him play.
You know your stuff, man. I'm so impressed. Physical means power and speed. So he's got power. In this game, you need power. You need physical. Technically, he's not great. Defense is not the best, but attacking? The question is, where do you want to put him in the lineup? That's what makes him effective when he bats 5 or 6. Batting 5 or 6 up here. Any questions in the chat for anyone who's still there? Maybe over Stoinis, but then Stoinis can bowl. There's some choices to be made.
Yeah, let's see where we can put that Maxwell at.
Okay, you like Maxwell, all right. I would probably put him...
I watched him play some.
He's pretty good. Because you've got 20 overs, each bowler has 4 overs, so they've only got 4 times 6 is 24. 24 pitches to use. These are world-class bowlers. Cummings and Hazelwood.
In there 5th behind Smith.
Yeah, you know I'm so impressed. You take English out, and you put in. Who did you say? Oh, he's in already.
Maxwell in the 5-hole.
In the 5-hole, you got the language. Oh my God. Sorry, I don't mean to sound bachelors, but Beatles took this. Yeah, I love it. I love it. But now you need a wicketkeeper again because you're taking the wicketkeeper out. Maxwell doesn't play wicketkeeper, so I'm gonna just quickly.
Okay.
He needs to be. You need to be a specialist to play wicketkeeper. At the moment, he's designated that because you haven't got someone else. I would probably take out this guy, Tim David, although he's pretty good all round. Well, I'm not even sure myself, to tell you the truth. You tell me, but I'm going to just help you out with the... You need a wicketkeeper, so you need to have Carey in there.
Well, I don't know. Show me which ones are in the... This is where I don't know.
No, that's okay. Let's just go...
Play out the field.
I will do... This is where the fun is AI versus AI. It's choosing a team, because it does matter. It does matter a lot. That's fine. So I'll do that one. That's done. If I go to India... Taking off test lineup, because at the moment it says test lineup. We're going to use their T20 lineup. I press Z, and here I go. Just going down the list. The star of the show is Virat Kohli. Rohit doesn't bowl. Bumrah is going to be my bowler number 2. You know all about Bumrah, I think. And I don't know he's changed that much. There's not many players here, actually, T20. So that looks like it's it for now. I'm happy with that, okay? Ishan Kishan is going to be very attacking. You can see by the ratings. Hopefully you can see it. Hold on, just put X. Bowler number 2. That's it. That should do it, I hope. Just bear me a moment. It's not letting me change Bumrah.
Give me Now the top 6 are mainly your batters, and
That's right.
they're your bowlers, right?
That is absolutely bang on correct. Here you go. Here's the stats now for India. I just changed this guy. Bring him in for this guy, Jadeja. And I'm going to bring in... This would be like me winning the Ned McGreevy if you beat me on this one. My God. Getting it back in spades here. And Jasprit Bumrah becomes bowler number 2. That's it. You're just double checking yours team because I messed it up just a little bit. Your bowler number 2, I'll take him out and put in, you really want this guy. Where is he gone? I don't see Mitchell Stark. Do you see Stark? No, he's not in there. Your bowler number 2 needs to be someone quick like this guy. Oh my God, I'm messing around with it. Hazelwood's your quick guy. Eventually, when you play it next time, the more you play it, the easier it gets.
He's 11th there.
He's 11th. Yeah, let's put him. Yeah, he's in the team. You happy with that? Your opening bowler is Pat Cummins, and your second bowler is Hazelwood. Oh, I keep messing with it. Sorry. There we go. We're set. Hazelwood, just make sure he's bowler number 2. That's it. So you're good to go. So what you've got here is really attacking David Warner. You remember Warner. Heads attacking. Smith is the best batsman in the world. Glenn Maxwell is really a closer, as in he will close the game when you really need him to be hitting sixes. So a little bit 4 or 5 or even 6 would be good for him. Cameron Green's an all-rounder, and you've got 4 key bowlers. So you should be good. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, looks good.
All right, let's get this thing on.
I know most of them.
Yeah, just staggered.
I don't know that Green, and I don't know that Carey.
Green is a very, well, say very young, but he's in terms of stadium, we played at the Narendra Modi Stadium, the Prime Minister of, as we know, the Prime Minister of India. Let's have a look here. And that looked a huge, magnificent stadium. That had 130,000 people in it last Sunday to see their own team lose. You can imagine the trauma of that. That's just awful. That's like saying 130 Cincinnati Reds fans turn up to see the Reds finally get back on top. They're dominant all season. They're 150 and 10. And then losing the final, losing the World Series.
Like Patriots, 16 and 17 and 0 and losing the Super Bowl.
Exactly. But imagine 130,000 in the stadium and 1 billion watching in their own country. Plus the billions around the world. You can just imagine the trauma. Right, here we go. Let's go. So it's going to stutter a little bit at the first seconds. Apologies anyone in the chat. I'm not talking directly to the chat. All 2 of you that's there. So, ask any questions if you've got any. I think Bernie, yourself, Mike, and Beatles are the ones that asked the question. I think Clue's given up on it already. But Clue wants to read it. Any questions at all?
Oh, you're doing good. Thank you. I appreciate your help.
It's just another sport, isn't it? There's so many sports around the world. We love our own sports, but I always want to see what else is out there in the world. Cricket, basketball, baseball, American football, and soccer. They're probably the 5, and athletics, of course.
Now, one thing I noticed in that Test cricket envy, they are so close to the batter in Test cricket. I mean, they're almost right on top of him.
Yeah, absolutely. The short they call. Yeah, if you've got fast bowlers in Test cricket, not the one we're just about to play, you've got a red ball, a shiny, hard red ball.
Yeah, with a white stripe on it.
That's right, or stitches, as I remember. In the red ball cricket, it's hard, tough one over 5 days, called Test cricket. It's testing your soul. Can you survive someone hurling a ball at you, although it has to hit, at your head, or at your chest, or at your legs?
Oh, he was hitting them left and right. I thought freaking Bob Gibson was out there.
Yeah, at 100.
One dude for India was just nailing them left and right.
Yeah, that's the skill of the game.
That one dude in the head.
I think Clue was asking.
He stumbled. Oh, it was crazy.
Yeah, Clue was asking me a question. He said, why do they have to run up? Why not just stand there and bowl? The rule in cricket is you have, let me see, I'm just doing the action in my own bedroom there. You have to straighten your elbow. Otherwise you can throw it and then you could stand up. So to get the momentum behind the arm, the faster bowlers, the intimidating rough house. They tend to be the mean boys of cricket. They want to run up first. Some have long run-ups. Some have truncated run-ups. Whereas the spin bowlers don't have to do that. They're just spinning the ball. So they stand close to the stumps when they're bowling. So that's that. So the guy that you're talking about that sits just under the stumps in Test cricket, trust me, that's why it's called Test cricket. Can you imagine if the batter hit the ball and hits him in the head? And that does happen.
Between India and Australia. I'm Adam Gilchrist, and with me for this exciting
Can you still hear it, Dwayne?
Michael Atherton, Mel Jones, and the one and only Ali Mitchell.
Always a pleasure to sit alongside you in the commentary box.
Thanks, Ali. Let's now head out to the middle. Join the captains for the toss.
Was barely coming off the bat, and they was catching it.
So, big clue. I'm reading the chat, Dwayne. I can see what Colin's up to in the chat. It's quite funny. There we go.
Not too surprising given the conditions.
Let's see them eat their words, Dwayne, eh? Look at that stadium, though. Wow. That's the lineup, and it's got David Warner at the head. Glenn Maxwell's batting 4. That's a strong side there, Dwayne. And the more you read about it, the easier it becomes to pick your lineups.
Now that's the big difference between Test cricket and this T20. Test cricket, they said they always wanted the bat first, didn't they?
Say that again, sorry?
In Test cricket, didn't they like the bat first if they wanted?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, because you have the best of the conditions. So you bat first if you can, unless the pitch is telling you, or the weather is rainy, or there's moisture in the air, you put the opposition in. In T20 though, it probably works the other way around, and the par score is 160, as you know. This time, yesterday, the Indians batted first.
The crowd is electric right now.
Yes, they did. Correct.
No shot offered. The bowler looks really confident. Wow.
Out. First ball. Sorry, Dwayne, your man is out.
Yeah, I'm a little behind.
The ball was too quick, or I just realized something. I didn't actually. Too late anyway. Sorry, Dwayne. No one gets to see David Warner, but I know why. I forgot to take it off manual control. It says Team Collect.
Okay.
Let's see. Here's Steve Smith. Yeah. Sorry about that. You lost. Let's just double check that.
Fix is in, guys.
The fix is in. There you go.
They get settled into their innings.
That's been launched at 90 miles an hour off the pitch. So you can imagine what it's like going through the air. It's well over 90 miles per hour. That's just coming off the ground. Here's Shami coming into Travis Head, the left-hander. Slow start for Australia already. Lost their man first ball, but that was down to MV shenanigans. Sorry, Dwayne. That was a mistake.
It's okay.
The run rate is what you need to look at. As you know, Dwayne, about 8 is good. And there's a lucky edge. Gone for 4.
The arms reach of the fielder and the ball races away.
Nearly got through them, just got onto it in time.
So the run rate's up to 6 at the bottom left-hand corner on Lee Smith's name.
You're like a batter ahead of me, or a pitch ahead of me.
Am I?
Yeah.
Of course, you're watching the YouTube.
Yeah.
I'll just keep silent.
Has been playing really well in recent matches. Certainly needs to bring their A game today. Ouch, that looked nasty. 5
So
runs.
Shami's bowling really quickly.
5 for 1.
First over gone, and a respectable start by the
Here's
batsman.
Bumrah, the main man.
The pace bowler coming into the attack.
It is rigged.
Yeah.
Boomer's got a strange run up.
Ouch, that looked nasty.
Ouch, hit him in the head. And that does happen.
This the guy that kind of hops.
Here, look at, he's really straight. It's a very unique action. Oh, what happened there? He didn't bowl it. What happened there? I've never seen that before. Folks, we may have to abandon ship. Let's have a look. So what I'll do there, I don't know what happened there. I can't believe it. It's the first time that's ever happened, Dwayne. He didn't bowl, did he?
No, he ran right through and kept the ball in his hand.
Let's just
He's
set
rubbing
that.
it up now.
Let's just start that again. I don't know what happened. I've never seen that before. That's obviously a bug somewhere. The first time I've ever seen that one. So I'll just start it again, Dwayne, that's all. Maybe this time Warner will stay in. So folks, just staying again. I don't know what happened there, but we had a bug that came up. Not seen it. The game's only been out for about a month and a half, so it's had 3 patches. It's done well so far. That's the first I've seen that one. So just bear with us as we come.
It'd be on sale, but so far it's not.
Oh no, it's an expensive game. It's a lot of features in the game. You know, a lot of customization, licensing, although not fully licensed. Let's do that again. New men's match. I'll do it quicker this time. Australia, India. Edit lineup. You wanted Warner, I know that. We want the T20 lineup. There we go. Z, Mitch Mark, you're out. We're going to put in, I'm going to put my man in there, your man, David Warner. There he is. You wanted, they're all set already. Tim David, you're out. We're going for Glenn Maxwell, yeah, who is a hard-hitting kind of guy. I think that's pretty much it. And here, I think I was quite happy with this one. It looks like it's kept the same team, actually. Yep, we're good to go. It kept it from yesterday. This is a test team, but I'm quite happy with the test team. I won't mess around with it. Let's keep that in. So you're playing against a specialist test team, but most players play both. So here we go. Match settings, Narendra Modi, and start match. So do it again. But I'm so impressed you watched Australia. That's really the documentary that you were watching, Dwayne, on the...
Yeah, they must have followed them for the whole year, didn't they?
Yeah, 2 years, because they did season 2. And it's just, it's really interesting to see it. England, there's an England one on there as well, which talks about, from, say, 10 years ago when they were #1 in the world in terms of test cricket. The T20 and the one-day internationals, lots of documentaries on there. So if anyone's interested in cricket, it is a great game. It's as old as baseball, probably the same age. I suppose in the industrial revolution age, then I guess that's when sport really accelerated. Whether it's baseball or cricket or even soccer, they all seem to start around the same time. I think soccer's the youngest one of them, although the biggest, I think, overall. American football, when did that start?
Professional. Back
Yeah.
in the 20s or 30s. But college has been around since the late 1800s.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, second time lucky.
Good afternoon to you all. We're here at the Narendra Modi Stadium. You join us for this
Second time lucky. Let's see what happens this time, Dwayne.
Yeah.
Imagine a stadium, 130,000. I think in Brazilian soccer, the Maracanã can hold like, I think 150. Again, take it off of the settings. Team select.
Pitch seems to suit it. Good call to bowl first. It certainly looks like there'll be something early on for the bowlers. The openers
Just bear with me as it starts the game again. Just trying to hurry it up so I don't make the same mistake. This time India are batting first.
Yeah. Australia won the toss.
It's interesting that they chose to bat instead of bowl. It's different size, different strengths. Come on.
These two teams always produce some great games as we see some of the key players come out on the ground. It's a fantastic outing today.
I love the graphics on this game, Dwayne. That's awesome.
Yes, they are. I liked how the light came through the
Yeah.
stadium. That was neat that they got that much detail into it.
It's a great game to look at. You have to really have a good PC to play it. Right, so now I will change it to Team Select. There we go. We're set.
Oh, big clue.
What's he saying? Is he abuse as usual?
About football.
Oh, when will it stop? Look at
Look
the lighting. This is at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and Cummings, the captain of Australia, will bowl to Rohit Sharma. Look at that straight away. He's attacking. He's one of the best players in the world, Dwayne. I think you know this now. Rohit Sharma, powerful hitter. He will hit the ball out of the park. Think Albert Pujols.
Tried something a bit different last delivery, and the captain shouldn't
Young
mind
Albert
too much. If
Pujols.
they get it right, they just might get that wicket.
Or the Angels.
Square cut,
A few good
finds
years with
point,
the
no
Angels,
run.
Any questions about cricket? Just far away. The first couple of overs, 6 overs. If you look at the radar, I think you know this, Dwayne. Only 2 fielders are outside that inner circle because they have to be. It's the rules of the game. With the first 6 overs, you got to make hay. If you don't make hay, you're in trouble. 160 runs is a par.
Lovely cover drive, straight to the extra.
Good start by Pat Cummings. We saw yesterday. He's pretty tight. Oh, Pat. Very rare for a bowler to be the captain as well. And he comes bowls to the other opposing captain. That's wide.
Still honing in on their lines. Batter happy.
And if that's wide, you can see the runs, as you can see. India are now 5 without loss. That's the way you say it. 5 for nothing. They've not lost a wicket. They want to keep that intact. Run rate 7.50. Wants to be about 8 plus.
Great shot into the gap, and there'll be runs on offer here.
Well, you can't fault that shot. Nicely played, and it was 4 runs all the way.
Tried something a bit different last delivery, and the captain shouldn't mind that too much.
So there's an extra delivery that leads as a penalty as well. So instead of bowling 6 balls for the over, he bowled 7.
9 runs added there.
India.
Yeah.
9 for
So
nothing.
Rohit's the man that needs to get it. Your team needs to get Rohit out.
The new batter always likes to feel bad on ball as they bring a bit of nervous.
Hazelwood's really quick.
Hazelwood, the right armour, is coming into the attack from the Reliance.
And in T20 though, speed doesn't really do much for you really, because the ball's coming onto the bat faster. So of course, they can smash it like you just saw, or you're about to see. I'll just shut up because you're about a couple of seconds behind on YouTube. Here's Hazelwood coming in now to bowl to Shubman Gill. Edged!
By outside edge, it'll be safe and enough.
Giving it away for you, Dwayne, because you can hear me.
On that one.
That's all right. Has anybody ever scored 4 runs by just running back and forth?
Let's just see if they can get
Yes, and an overthrow. So if a fielder picks up a ball and it misses the fielder who's fielding it, and they're throwing at the stumps, it can go past it into the outfield again. And the runners will run 4. But they have to be quick and fit to do that. Someone was asking me about run progression the other day. You score 1, you score 2, 3, 4, and 6. The 4s are when it hits the boundary, ropes, and 6 is over the ropes. Rooting for Dwayne here, Beatles and Turner, he says. It's his selection. As Hazelwood gets to the top of his mark, but you guys are behind, so I'll just keep quiet. You can follow the commentary.
Square cut, finds point, no run.
India.
7 runs added in that over. India 16 for none.
So already,
Backed up
Dwayne,
that first over really well. These two look good early
the
on.
run rate's at 8, so they're doing okay. In the first 6 overs, they get to about 50 without loss, or maybe 50 for loss of 1 wicket. They're doing okay.
Inside the line and pulled away, but
Or 60.
cuts it off
It's really
nicely.
good. Within the first 6 overs. Only 2.1 overs gone so far. Rooting for the rain, Sports Time Machine says. That would delay the game.
Great shot, pulled straight to back.
These are the sort of shots you just stand back and admire. Gets onto the back foot, rolls the wrist to keep control, and finds the boundary.
Boundary last ball. What's to come this delivery? I wonder. Caught, and that's stuck. Caught. It's one of the easiest catches you'll see.
Out. So they've lost their first wicket.
Not what you'd
Shubman
want so
Gill
early in the
out.
innings, barely troubling the scorer.
Nice catch.
And with that wicket, we'll see a change out in the middle. The task here will be that of support.
I would love Bob Uecker to call a cricket game. That would be funny. It would be hilarious.
Just a bit outside.
Yeah. That was a great movie.
Yes, it was.
Just a bit outside.
Textbook back foot shot. Anyone would be proud of that. It just flies to the boundary.
Look at that run rate, Dwayne. Look at that run rate. Look at that run rate.
With all his joking and carrying on.
Oh, he's
Don't
hilarious.
take him as serious as they should. He was a decent ball
Drive
player.
straight
and a
down the
decent
ground, mid on,
announcer,
and
you
click
know
that
what I'm
one, though.
saying?
He said well, I don't know what his batting average was, but he was definitely on some championship teams, right? For the Braves.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like I say.
But he's a Hall of Famer announcer, though. He's amazing.
Like I say, Netflix got that
Big
nice
edge. Where's that going?
Oh,
Dawson
no.
takes a very good catch. Beautiful catch.
The great Virat Kohli.
It trudged back to the pavilion. A disappointing display
nice
in the
catch?
end
Oh,
for
yeah,
someone
Scotty.
with such
That's
skill.
Got
a
it.
big
Yeah, I'm
down
following
as
on
a fade.
YouTube. Oh my God, I kept quiet.
Oh, man.
You're doing well.
That's a big one.
That's a long way to walk out
Here
there.
comes
Just to turn around and walk
the
straight
averages
back.
really
Just wanna get
tell
the
me
first
how many
one
runs
line
per
and
inning
then
roughly they'll get. Like
Hazelwood,
Ayer
line.
is 30 average, so you average 30 runs per game.
Nicely played. Just runs one.
Ooh. So they've lost 2 wickets in the power play. To have a good score, you want to not lose any more within those 6 overs. That means you haven't taken advantage of your natural advantage.
Certainly needs to bring their A game today. Straight to the fielder.
Keep looking at that radar on the top. You see how the captain's moving his team around. You can see the field he's setting for the bowler.
4 overs. And a bowler can pitch in.
Nice shot. Runs
Say that again,
possible.
Dwayne.
The bowlers, is it 3 or 4 overs in T20?
4, maximum of 4. So Cummings, you'll notice, will probably hold himself back a little bit, maybe,
Right.
depending on the state of the match. If they've really got the boot on the head, so to speak,
But on
then
the
he may
inside,
keep himself
played that
on.
Wonderfully. Fielder needs to
'Cause he's
work
their
hard
best
to stop
bowler.
that.
There's a lot of strategy in T20. I mean, there's a lot of strategy in all the versions of the game, but it's nuanced. You know, you have to really look for it. Like Hazel was bowling his second of 4 overs.
Still honing in on their lines. The batter happy to let it go through.
So Beatles Eternally says, I imagine that cricket would be tough to do as a cards and dice game. It is a game, and Dwayne and I have played it, isn't it, Dwayne? It's pretty good.
I never played it. I watched
Still
it.
You watched
honing in
it.
on their lines.
Yeah.
The batter happy
There's
to
a
let it
guy
go
that does cards and dice. He's
The over
pretty
comes to
good.
an end. Not many runs coming
Now,
off
he was
as
playing
both
test
sides need
cricket,
to
right?
inject some life into
He's
this
pretty
match.
good. I've got the game as well. It does take a while
That
to
was
play.
test cricket he was playing, right?
The guy you told me to look at,
Lovely
he's
covered
pretty
off,
good.
straight to the extra cover field.
Yeah, Allen's a good guy.
Allen, yeah.
He's made that for me. Yeah.
So Cummins is keeping himself on, Dwayne. What do you think? The right thing is he's taken 2 wickets already.
Didn't pan out yesterday.
No.
That's when he started smacking
That's just a brilliantly aggressive shot. Gets onto the front foot and it's flown over the boundary.
The guy you need to get out is Rohit Sharma. He's the danger man. And anyone watching, if they've got yellow under their name, it means they're not fully confident yet. They're still settling in. If they go green, watch out. Watch your screens. So let's have a look. The questions are: Tio lunch would be easy part. I agree. Sports time machine. Sports time machine saying it's knowledge of cricket. You can, Mike Silver. You can. You can control the players as well, which is even more fun. But you have to be pretty. Once you learn the controls, it's a really good game. But obviously the rules, for those who don't know the game, you need to understand the rules. Ultimately, it's make as many runs as possible without losing your wicket. When I went to the West Indies as a kid to live for a while, I didn't have a clue about cricket. I was like, what the hell is this game? I knew baseball and rounders and soccer and basketball, but what the hell was cricket?
Nice shot, cut away, bang towards the boundary.
Yeah, too wide. It was there to
Mike, you see the stadiums? You can build stadiums in this game as well.
Playing all their shots in that over, a very expensive over. Abbott, the right armour, is coming into the attack from the Reliance.
And Dwayne, when you're playing the game, you have control over who you put in. You can set your own fields. You can make field adjustments. There's so much more to it.
That's gone for 6. That is a huge one. Trace, there's plenty from these bowlers.
That ball has been hit. It has flown into the crowd. To get that much power coming forward on the front foot is ridiculous.
I'm struggling to hear you over the noise of the crowd. That's how loud it is at the Hendra Stadium.
That's great fielding. That ball was flying.
So what's your thoughts on the run rate? Dwayne, your team, Australia in green on the field. What's your thoughts?
Great ball, that last one, to find the edge. It's just a case of finding the same spot.
Now.
Well played. Could be a quick single.
Now, if you're manually playing the game with a joystick, you'd be doing the bowling, you'd be doing the fielding, or you can put auto fielding. You'd be doing the batting if you're batting. It's really a good contest, and we could play online. So I know Beatles kind of interested in cricket too. It's a tough game. It's not tough to learn, I don't think. But it's got the same history as baseball. Very deep, controversial.
Oh my, that's racing away.
Read that really well. A fantastic back foot shot that's raced through the infield and straight to the boundary.
It's a big clue. Says, cricket is a small insect that's part of the diet of days in the West Indies. It is indeed. It is a massive sport that West Indians, Pakistanis, English, Australians, New Zealanders, oh my God, everyone around the world, even in the US.
Canada?
Canada, yeah, Canada. It's a clue. It's a game of empire. People hate that. It's a game of empire. You know, civilization.
You're correct. They spread it.
They did.
Just like they did the Empire, didn't they?
Cuts away, but
That's
finds the
indeed.
fielder just behind
Now,
the point.
curious one. There isn't actually a famous American cricket player from the 1920s. His name escapes me. His first name is Bart, and he is in history. He's a pretty well-known. Well, I can't remember his surname. But the US never really took to cricket in those days. So, question from Beatles. Oh, good question. And good one, Michael Silver. They do look like soccer stadium. Look at that. It's gone.
Don't do it.
I'm out of sync with you guys, but I'm a little bit ahead.
That ball has been hit. It's flown into the crowd. To get that much
So
power
Beatles
going
is
forward
right.
onto the front foot is just
Ireland, by the
ridiculous.
way, played a lot of cricket actually at the beginning. It's only in the last 10 years they've come back to it. In fact, it's never died. It just never got professionalised or became professional. So Ireland have been have a rich history also in cricket. Now, where did the name cricket come from? I shall tell you.
Finds the middle, but won't find.
But at the moment, just so you know, looking at that run rate at the bottom, multiply that by obviously 20, you can start to see where they're probably going to end up. And the power score is 160. If you're making 160 runs as a team in T20, you're doing okay. And the run rate would obviously be 8, right? 8 times 20 is 160.
That's great fielding. That ball was.
But looking at India's score, they're way above par.
Call. That's an easy run.
Yeah, they scored 200 the last time.
They did. That was yesterday, didn't it? It was crazy.
Yes, it was.
If you want to watch what happened yesterday, tune into the last 15 minutes
Finds the
of the
field
one
cover.
that we streamed yesterday. So, Beatles wants to know, where did the name cricket come from? Beatles? I honestly don't recall knowing that, to be completely honest with you. But I will tell you. Okay, so someone was asking me yesterday about the pitch. It's 22 yards
Runs added in that over.
with a
India,
wicket at
16
each end,
for 2.
comprising of
They've
2
got
bails.
busy working the ball around and hitting boundaries in between.
The batting side
It's a good
scores runs
setup
by
for a
striking the
strong
ball
finish.
bowled at one of the wickets with the bat, and then running between the wickets while the bowling and fielding side
The
tries to
right-arm
prevent this.
bowler is coming into the attack from the
Now,
line.
where did cricket come from? I'm still looking, Beatles. I don't really know. It says the southeast of England in the mid-16th century, Beatles. It spread globally with the expansion of the British Empire. That's poke fun. The game's governing body is the International Cricket Council, otherwise known as the ICC. So like you have Major League Baseball
Just
or
see if they can
NFL.
get that ball up
In
into
cricket, it's the
slot as
ICC.
before. It's so crucial. You've got to follow up.
Here's
that
your camera in
last
green
delivery
coming
to
into the
batter
attack
under
now.
pressure. Finds the fielder with that shot.
From the 14th over onwards, it's at 7.2, it gets really exciting because they start hitting out if they preserved their wickets, because the risk is less. So it's like, you know what, let's go for it.
They'll get at least one here.
T20 is what's kept the game alive in the last, it's an innovation that took place in 2004, I think. And it's spread the game globally even more than normal. Had they not done that, I doubt the game would have spread to, say, the US, as it has done. The US have their own professional T20
Want
league.
to follow up that last delivery. Found the edge, but no reward, but putting pressure on the batter.
That's what amazes me when they swing
Oh,
like
dealt
that.
with that beautifully. Saw the
What's
short
that
one and
swing
got out
called?
of the
It's
way.
named after
No more of
somebody,
those
ain't
in
it,
this over.
MV?
Oh, the stadium is called the...
No, when they swing and it goes backwards, they named it after somebody.
Oh, yeah, the scoop, the Dilshan scoop.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
Hey, you know your stuff,
Driven
man.
away, but cover point collects. No run.
That's the swing that amazes me.
Well, you want a bit of cricket history.
Being from the U.S. and batting, you never think about trying to turn
Scoop.
that ball around and hit it to the backstop.
Well, there's lots of videos
Ball away,
of
straight
cricketers
square.
playing baseball, and the baseball players trying to hit a cricket ball.
8 off it. India.
I won't tell you the result of who struggled the
Busy
most.
working the ball around and hitting boundaries in
believe
between.
it.
It's a
You
good
gotta have a look
setup
for it.
a strong finish.
Yeah.
They got some of the best players in cricket and the best players in baseball and had them match up, and it was hilarious.
The bowler looks really confident.
I think the baseball players did pretty well.
Go for it. It's high in the air. Fielder coming around, but it looks like we'll carry.
The thing is now that India are both confident. Both players are confident. They've got green under their names, which means they've now settled into what's required. and they're in a groove.
Flex that one, simple as you like inside the ring.
Call it that.
This guy's name is Adam Zampa.
He doesn't have much of a run up there.
And what
No.
strike that is, right into the slot. Great timing and balance. It'll be at maximum.
The spin bowlers don't need a run up. They're just looking to tweak the ball either to the right or the left of the batsman, trying to deceive him. As you will see,
With a massive shot.
trying to deceive him so that the batsman comes down the pitch, but the ball swings away and he gets stumped from behind.
Gone. Fine
How's
catch.
the bowler's name? That's 0-17. What's that mean?
Okay, so the 0-17, I'll see it in a second. It will mean he's probably. I'll show you in a second when I see the screen again.
Now, great opportunity to prove the critics wrong. Certainly needs to build an innings for the team. Someone different now to bowl at. Brings a different set of problems. I feel it's just a matter of pitching the ball up and getting them onto the front foot. Finds the middle.
If you notice, the spinners can do two things. The spinner is there to be defensive or attacking.
A 77.
These are the slow bowlers, right? And depending where they pitch the ball, they can really bamboozle the batsman, and the ball is not coming on as quickly to the bat. The difference is, if they do get hit, it goes far. It goes really high and far.
Disappointed by the effort, just need to adjust the run up.
Now he's got
Will be disappointed with that
7.
previous delivery. Not up to their
Now
normal
it means
standards.
it's 0 for 8, so he doesn't have any wickets and he's thrown 8 balls. Is that
Yeah.
what it means?
Oh, yeah, I'm just going to show you now. Because of the sound, the crowd is so high in my ears, I can just about hear you, which is kind of realistic. Right, so if you're asking about the numbers beside the bowlers' names, I'll just quickly show you.
Last ball isn't
On my screen, which you're about to see, Cameron Green says 0-16 and in brackets 1.11.
Big edge.
At long last, they have.
And what that means is,
Could so easily have been a game-changing
he has-
innings. All the same,
the ones in
it's
brackets is how
fabulous
many
to watch.
overs he's bowled.
That's a long way to walk out there just to turn around and walk straight back. They'll just want to get this first run behind them and then push on.
And when it says 1 for 16, it's taken 1 wicket for 16 runs.
Still honing in on their lines. The batter happy to let it go through.
2 big boys out of there
Got
now.
to follow up that.
Yeah,
last
they've
one.
knocked out some of the best batsmen now, so
Pressure on
you've
the
got your
batter.
batsmen's 5 and 6 at the crease. Still good.
No shot offered. They've gone up here.
Get 1 or 2 of them now. Get to the
If the ball hits the batsman's body in line with the stumps and the batsman misses with the bat, that's known as leg before wicket.
Out to me though.
Was there a bat on
That's a
it?
wicket.
Fielders think there was. This could be
Like what
trouble.
you're seeing
Now,
now.
I didn't pick up on anything there.
And that's a wicket then?
Very
That
close
could be
to
a
the
wicket. It depends. They reviewed it. They wanted a replay.
Now, I didn't pick up on
Yeah,
anything
that's what
there.
they didn't do in that
Very close to the bat.
Yeah.
documentary I was watching.
That's right. And they're saying
Great
he's
position.
safe,
Batter will live to fight another day or another ball in this case.
as you will see.
Let's just see if they can get that ball up into the slot as before. It's so crucial. You've got to follow up that last delivery and keep the batter under pressure. Nicely played. Runs 1.
See the decision, the umpire's changed his mind, so it's not out.
Homer.
The run rate's still 8.75.
Don't be scared of 130,000 people.
No.
Cut, finds point,
Yeah,
no run.
it's all about intimidation.
Victory over in a very nicely bowled one.
Yeah.
Not much opportunity to score runs there.
They've got busy working the ball around and hitting
So
boundaries.
Jadeja and Rahul were their
Good
test
setup for a
players,
strong finish.
but Jadeja and Rahul played one-day internationals. They've kind of retired from T20, but they're in this game.
Straight to the extra cover field. That's a strong appeal. What's the umpire?
Jadeja is known as a very flamboyant character.
Inside the line and pulled away, but mid-wicket cuts it off
better
nicely.
than yesterday. By this time yesterday, these are probably up around 9 or a 10 rate.
Yeah. You're keeping them in check, 8.32. That's why I'm seeing on my screen. Zampa's bowling.
Chance to run 2. Doesn't beat the infield. Worked away. That's a nice single.
Tight game so far. 8.29 run rate. Come on, India.
Driven away, but cover point.
So you see India try and get up to 9, which is rare, but yesterday they got it up to 10, didn't they? So
yeah, it was high 10 too. I was like 10.8, something crazy like that.
But I tell you what, this crowd's really loud in my ear, man.
You see, I don't hear nothing because of being on.
Ah, right. You're not hearing any sound?
No, I don't hear the sound because I turned it off on YouTube.
Of course, of course, of course.
Yeah.
That makes complete sense.
Feedback and everybody hearing it echoing.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. One night, me and Beatles really messed it up with echo a few months back. But we got our mics sorted.
I don't know if you ever watched Rob Exclamation Point.
Yeah. Oh my God! Look at that
He gets
shot.
on there and he has his sound messed up. He sounds like the Chipmunks. He's talking like
Who's that?
They've got busy
Rob
working the ball
Exclamation
around.
Point. He messes his sound up and it's real fast speed and he sounds like the Chipmunks. Oh my gosh!
I'm gonna turn down the master volume. No. Let's see. The crowd volume is really high, which is amazing. I mean, it should be at 130,000.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you'll see this on your screen in a second. Because I can barely hear you. It sounds like we're there.
And hitting boundaries in between. It's a good setup for
hear
a
you now.
strong finish.
Ooh.
Wow, that's missed the lot.
So you see me fiddling around with the instructions.
Get back and watch it just so I can hear it.
It's crazy.
Yeah, well played. Could be a quick single.
You're missing a lot of Australian voices. That's what you're missing. And the sound of the crowd. So when you do play it back, you'll hear there's now. I don't know if Beatles is still watching. Does the crowd sound too loud? Or anybody? Clue? Anybody?
Follow up that last delivery and keep the batter under pressure. Not too much room and got what it deserved.
Down there near
That's just a
eight.
brilliantly aggressive shot. Gets onto the front foot and it's flown over the boundary.
There they go again. Remember, the 14th over is when it goes wild. From 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 overs. So you need more wickets, exactly. Because if you break this,
That ball was flying.
if you break this partnership, you're in to what they call the tail, the second half of the 11, which is mostly the bowlers. But India do have some good bowlers that can bat. So this is a crucial partnership right now. That's what they call it in cricket, partnership, because these two are batting strategically in this position anyway. Rahul in Test cricket is an opener. They're quite tough and rugged.
Well timed, but there's a fielder out there.
Jadeja is the more flamboyant one. That when he scores 50 runs, he stands at the side of the pitch and he's swashbuckling. You know the swashbuckling with a cutlass? He does this sort of. You have to Google it. It's called. Just type in Jadeja celebration, and you'll see it, Dwayne, or anybody in the chat. Jadeja, you can see it on the screen. Jadeja celebration. He does this swashbuckling thing with his bat. It's brilliant.
There could be a couple if they
Watch
hustle.
golf. Is it something like
great
Chichi
fielding.
Rodriguez?
That
I
ball
used
was
to love
flying.
how you do that crazy.
Yeah, nice
crap.
early call.
I'm
That's
trying
an
to
easy
think
run.
of who celebration in baseball would be like. But baseball players don't really, well, I say that, they don't like to rub the noses of people in the dirt, so to speak.
Huge edge.
One in the ear.
Yeah.
That's starting to change.
I love baseball for that reason. It's a tough sport. It's one I love.
Time to keep
When the
pressure on
pitcher
there.
hits the
Great
batsman,
ball.
I just love it.
Find the edge.
I love the
Takes
cheating
point
that
and
goes on. It
saves
happens in
point.
cricket, as you know.
Look at that sun coming through there. That's cool.
It is cool. The sun coming through the roof is just amazing. I haven't even turned all my
Time to
graphics
keep
up.
the pressure on now. Great ball, that last one, to find the edge. It's just a case of finding the same spot.
So here we go, Australia looking, just need to break this partnership.
Oh, my.
Now, if you hit somebody in purpose in cricket, can you get in trouble?
Well, that was timed very well.
If you hit a bat, somebody got killed actually, sadly, about 7 years ago. A young Australian batsman, he was in the Test team as well, or he had just lost his place in the Test team. His name was Philip Hughes, and he was playing in a league game, and he got smashed in the head. And that happens all the time, but he died. It was really sad. A bit of like the Ray Chapman of cricket. Is it Ray Chapman or Roy Chapman?
Going a long way. What a shot.
Well, enough leverage there to get a good swing of the arms under it to get it over the rope.
Just trying to hear you now still.
Don't need to do anything special. Line and length is the key here.
Thank you all for staying watching at the moment. A bit of T20 cricket. It gets more exciting in the second innings when the team have to chase down the runs. But it's big hitting. Kids love it.
Some risks, along with some good running.
Most countries play it now. T20 is revolutionized cricket.
Coming into the attack. Flick of the wrist off the front foot.
Dwayne, you're getting hammered, man.
I know. That's why I said he has some work to his ear.
Threaded it through brilliantly. All time in that shot.
But the more we played, I think I was saying to you yesterday, and I was saying to everybody, during lockdown we played, I think it's called Lockdown, Cricket 19 Lockdown, or Cricket 22 Lockdown tournament. And 8 guys chose their team. We had a draft, just like we do with the Shanks. We had a draft, and every player had a price to them, like the real draft in what is called the Indian Premier League. And you had a cap, and you had to pick your players. It was really good fun. We don't control the players as we're doing now, but what we can do is choose who plays and where.
Chance to run 2.
I got a question for you, MV.
Yeah, go ahead if I can hear you.
Like no doubles, I don't know if they play like no doubles like they do in baseball and put everybody back. That way it's hard to get a 4.
So if I heard you right, did you mention, say that one more time, let me just try and hear you. In fact, let me turn the volume off completely, hold on. Yeah, go ahead, I can hear you now.
Sure. The fielders, why don't they play them like in baseball with no doubles and back them up so it's hard to get a 4?
They can, and they do. It's probably more.
Okay.
They're definitely doing it in this one. If you pay attention to the radar in the top right-hand corner.
I'm looking over there. Yeah. That radar. I see a lot of them back.
They are, and the bowler's bowling either to play to the batsman's strength or to the batsman's weakness. So if I go back into it, you're a couple of seconds behind me. If you really look at Stoinis, who's about to bowl his 4th ball on your screen any moment now, or his 5th ball, I think it's his 4th, on your screen any minute now, because I'm looking at your screen.
That's a solid shot.
If you look at the radar, you can see where the captain is placing the players, and each bowler has a different strength. Each bowler has a different pitch to pitch. Like, I think in, let's see now, Stoinis is a medium fast bowler. So he's bowling different deliveries, kind of like how a pitcher would have a curveball, a cutter, a forkball, a knuckleball. Each of these pitchers has their own variety of strengths and weaknesses, and so do the batsmen. Some batsmen like to hit to what's called the onside, which is the left-hand side of a right-hander, or on the offside, which is the right-hand side to the right-hander. And it's opposite for left-handers. And the captain, as I'm looking at the screen and your screen in a minute, I'll look at it in a second.
Oh, I thought that was passing, but
as I can see, you've got a bit of a break going on. I'll catch up with you.
Time to follow up after such a great delivery. Pitch it on a length is obviously the way to go.
Right, on your screen at the moment, if I'm looking at this correctly.
Obviously didn't like the look of that one and just ignored.
It's a right-handed batsman, and the pitcher, he's not always aiming for the stumps. Sometimes he's trying to get a catch so that the batsman hits the ball to the where the field is strategically placed. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
Well, say like baseball, yeah. Yeah, say like baseball.
Be crazy with the shift is a lot of pitchers didn't pitch to the shift.
Time to follow
Play
up
you to
after
pull and
such a
throwing
great
the ball
delivery.
outside,
Pitch it
and one
on
of
a
the
length
batters
is
wouldn't
obviously
go
the
the
way
other
to go.
Just drove me nuts.
But couldn't the shift be a bit of a bluff too?
Oh, wow.
I mean,
that is
I know
out
in
of
baseball,
here. That
they're
could
more
be
or less
out of the ground.
daring you not to
Great shot for 6. Moving along
swing the
nicely
bat
and
the way
starting
you
to...
normally do, but man, if you're giving me a hit, I'm taking it.
If you have a shift on, right? Say Ted Williams. It's the famous Ted Williams shift. Is that where it all started? Ted's a...
It's the first I know of.
Yeah. So he would have been... Obviously, they knew where he roughly would hit. Ted was a good enough hitter to beat the shift most times, if not all the time, I think. But sometimes, imagine you're a 1950s baseball manager and you're trying to get Ted Williams out. Maybe you put the shift on so that he thinks the pitch is coming, let me see, whether it's inside or outside, up or down. But he's so smart, he would kind of work that out anyway by just looking at the ball and the rotation. I don't know. But it's the same in cricket. It's the same thing. They're looking at the rotation. They're looking at everything. We can't see with the naked eye, but they are, just like baseball, they're picking up the rotation, the speed, where the release points are, everything, yeah.
About that last ball. They've got them playing their shots.
So the
Just
ball's
need to
not one
tighten
color.
their areas now.
So they can see rotation on it.
Chance
Yeah,
to
even
run
at that
two.
speed, they can still see it.
That's great fielding.
Because
that ball was flying.
the bowler, like in baseball, the same thing. They're giving away clues sometimes without them even knowing they're giving away clues. It might be how they rub the ball in there. You know, they're giving away something unconsciously. The great batsmen, they've got the eye and the intelligence to pick it up, as you know.
Big edge.
So this is the 14th over that's in now. This is when India really start to accelerate, and they've got the wickets in hand.
Time to follow up after such a great delivery.
And Rahul is
Pitch it on the
green.
length is obviously the way to go.
So watch out, folks. You'll see lots of sixes. I'll keep quiet for a moment.
Beats the bat. Jeez, how has that missed the stumps? Peach of a delivery. End of the over. 8 off it. India are 130 for 4.
It's doing pretty good.
Marcus Stoinis.
Perfect.
Wow,
Watched it
shot.
closely out of the hand and hammered that slower ball away to the boundary.
I'm a bit ahead, so I'll keep my mouth shut. I keep giving it away.
Focus on getting the next delivery right.
Well, dealt with that beautifully. Saw the short one and got out of the way. No more of those in this over.
I think I better watch YouTube because you're looking at the same thing on time. So we've got Stoinis now coming into
Oh,
bowl.
now then, that's high in the air. Batters should get
Stoinis
it.
into Rahul.
Well, you sometimes just have to stop.
Short
and admire
outside of
batting
stump.
like that. Gets
That'll
onto
be
the
a
front foot
wide,
early,
which is an extra run to
well
India.
timed and for
And
runs.
means they also have to bowl an extra ball in the over. Marcus Stoinis, a very interesting character if you Google him, along with Alan Zamba. And there's a shot over extra cover. That's gone for 4. I've been tuned with you on YouTube. So you might be hearing me, hopefully in time.
Well, enough leverage there to get a good swing of the arms under it to get it over the rope.
I'll leave the commentary alone because it gets confusing.
That last ball isn't something you
See?
want to repeat of. You
It's
don't
the
want to
acceleration
give away
in the
runs.
scoring.
I know.
9.35.
Oh, and that's a 6.
That's
So,
great fielding. That ball was flying.
I still say they got to prove one in the ear. Bob Gibson.
Where's Bob Gibson? What do you need him, man? If it was Test cricket, they would be doing that. I promise you. They would intimidate all day long.
And got what it deserved.
And the ball that
They
didn't.
like to
Too
talk
much whip,
smack,
really.
too. I
They're
like
only
that.
asking for that to
Oh,
be
yeah.
hammered into the stand.
Say that again, Dwayne.
They like to talk smack. They like
Oh,
to jaw
big
each other.
time.
I like that.
It's just the same like baseball. I mean, but in cricket, the illusion is, oh, it's British, they won't do it. And no, that's rubbish. The Australians are the ones that are the worst. They call it sledging.
Have to be very happy with that last shot.
They will say everything and anything.
I started watching that. They got in all that trouble and they're
Huge
trying to
edge.
tone their stuff
Playing all
down.
their shots in that over. A very
The Aussies are
defensive
known
over.
to be just
It's
rough
really
and
good
tumble.
overs strung together.
And
They've taken
in the
some
70s
risks,
in particular,
along with some good running.
I think it's the same in
Very good
baseball in a
totals on the
way.
way.
Think of the Oakland A's in the 70s or the Raiders. That's Australia in the 1970s. They're a really potent team, which I've created.
Nicely played.
And they had some great players like hopefully, if you do the research and keep studying it, players like Rodney Marsh, who we sadly lost. Another one called Dennis Lilly. Long hair, moustache. He looked like Lee Van Cleef.
Really?
Oh, God.
Edge, but it drops safely. They've gone up here.
Oh.
Gone. Fine catch.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Blondie knows.
Oh, Blondie was great. And they've all got their characters, you know.
Well, the end of an entertaining performance with the
It
bat.
looks like Janet is in
Certainly
trouble
a good
here.
wicket to get. Those runs were
Running
really
blind,
starting to flow.
sure.
Jadeja's in trouble.
And with that wicket, the new batter will mark centre. Just needs to rotate the strike.
Watch out for Ishan Kishan.
Settle into their innings.
He only deals in 6s and 4s. Or out.
Is that right?
Yep.
Chance to run 2. That's great fielding. That ball was
He
flying.
puts it all on black. That's
Nice
it.
early ball. That's
he
an
just
easy
deals. He just deals 6s. And you see, when you get down to the 14th over, the whole point of your innings structure, of structuring your lineup, is to try and get your power hitters a little later down as well, so they can close out the game.
Big edge.
So it's a balance, always a balance. When I played in the online tournament I played in, where we just selected the lineups and told them where to play, I got to the final, which I was really happy to do, but I lost it because of a bit of hubris. I thought I was overconfident and I lost. Oh my God. It's devastating.
So if they don't make the wicket,
Say
can't
that
take
again?
him out, Sue. If the batter don't make a wicket, you can't take him out. Right?
No.
No. So he'd almost have to do a wicket on purpose if you wanted to get somebody else in there.
Oh, you can do that. I mean, it happened recently in the Caribbean Premier League game. The batsman was batting so slowly, the captain declared him out and said, look, come off the pitch because you're not batting fast enough. And therefore, it's embarrassing. I mean, that was the height of embarrassment in T20. That your captain makes you out.
Along with some good running.
Yeah, Reggie being pulled by Bill Martin. Absolutely, Billy Martin.
Yeah.
Chance to run
It's
2.
embarrassing.
Yeah.
That's great fielding. That ball was flying.
Now, there is a management version of this as well called Cricket Captain. You might have seen me play once, where you can have a lot more involvement in what you're doing, field placings, who's aggressive, how to bat, whether it be offensive or defensive. And that can be played online, and that would be something that might be cheaper or more cost effective. Dwayne, I think everyone could buy that game. It would be awesome. It's like $10 maybe?
Like 20, yeah, it's like $19, something like that.
Oh, really?
Got another one
Has
called
gotten the
Club
big
Cricket.
shot away this over.
Yeah,
Now
I've
they
not
can
seen
focus
Club
on
Cricket, but
playing
you
the
mentioned it
next
the other
ball on
day.
its merits.
It's on Steam.
Well
Yeah.
timed, but there's a fielder out there.
9.46. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
they're getting up there near 10.
That is high. But watch Australia then, because they're going to take that into calculation, right? And they're going to like, well, okay, that's the target we've got to have. We've got to bat a bit more aggressively. But with aggression comes risk. There he goes, all on black. No, that's Rahul. So for anyone watching, we're watching the current current Indian team, which is a powerful team, against the powerful Aussies. They're both the top 2 teams in the world probably right now. And this is Cricket 24.
Hit that.
New batter comes to the crease. Never an easy time to come into bat after the fall of a wicket. Kumar
out there.
taking guard. Has been playing really well in recent
Any questions,
matches.
Dwayne?
Certainly needs to bring their A game today.
His strike rate of 158, that's awesome, ain't it?
That's awesome.
Shot should be runs
Yeah, you
here.
got it.
That's great fielding. That ball was flying.
158 strike rate
Snap
is
through for a
hitting.
single, good running.
I'm sure that means he's hitting, let's see, runs 158% of the time, I think. Runs per ball is pretty much measuring anyway.
Yeah.
Rocks onto the back foot.
That
and
shot
that
that
is
Kishan just played, well, you'll see it in a minute.
The shorter ball having no joy and getting dispatched for 4 runs.
Each stroke has a different name, which I think you can relate to anyway, because baseball's similar. Shot you're seeing on screen,
will be
that's a hook shot.
that over. Kept the batters under
And some players can play it,
very
and some
well.
players
It's
can't.
Something they do so well.
There was some wonderful stroke play on offer for the fans here. Bowlers just weren't tight
I've
enough.
not been looking at the chat. But,
Classic cover drive.
forgive me,
Finds the
folks.
fielder at cover.
As Beetle says, MV Hubris, say it ain't so. Well, Beetle, the nation, the Red Bolt Nation of One, you know we're known for hubris.
Beats the bat. Jeez, how...
Thank you, Beatles. I'm just reading back your things now. Ray Chapman, thank you so much. That would have been, sadly, Philip Hughes in more recent times.
Well timed, but there's a fielder out there.
The shift was first deployed in dead ball era, really, okay. But the shift became famous in 1946 World Series, which would have been who, Dwayne? Quick trivia test for you.
William. Yeah.
1946, was the Boston played in that one?
Well timed, but there's a fielder out there.
Question, who played in the 1946 World Series? I haven't a clue. Do you know, Dwayne?
Not off the top of my head, no.
No, I don't have a clue.
Well, what a lovely shot.
18, 19 overs coming up now, 1 over left.
Type of delivery to be bowling here.
St. Louis and Boston,
And he comes
okay,
back
I
with a
suppose.
dot ball.
St. Louis won that one. I don't know how great those Cardinals teams really are, if I'm being honest. Because I think
6 runs coming.
so many players were out, you know, coming back from World War II.
There was some wonderful stroke play on offer for the fans here. Bowlers just weren't tight enough.
Shot, should be runs here.
In real life, T20 is a kind of game you go to for 2 hours and that's it. I'm trying to speed the game up with my key. So you're not watching them walk back to their run-up, but it's pretty much almost in time. You think so, Beatles? Yeah, I mean, I'll go with your wise words. But I wonder how many teams were impacted by people coming back from the Western Theatre or Pacific.
Got to follow up that last delivery. Found the edge, but
I know Hank Greenberg was a great player in 1942, 41, 39, 38.
Big edge.
But when these guys are around, certainly not for the American League.
Bob
Bob Feller.
Last delivery. Found the edge, but no reward, but putting pressure
But my knowledge is limited, as you know, on this bit.
Big edge.
As Dwayne now,
That ball was
looking at his team getting the shellacking.
Time to follow up after such a great delivery. Pitching it on a length is obviously the way to go.
Now, if you were playing it manually, you'd be doing everything to stop this. So what's your thoughts now, Dwayne, of that run rate? What's your feelings?
Swung at that. Would that have been called wide?
It would have been if umpire deems it so.
Oh, it's
Finds
a
the
judgment
middle.
call.
Yeah, from the umpire, just like the umpire in you know, it's a strike or a ball.
Right.
There are some controversial umpires in history that they need glasses. You know what I mean? Or they've been taking some. The more you research it, the more you research it, the more you see. Oh, my screen's going to disappear for a second. Hopefully it's be all right.
And that's the end of the innings.
So that's the end?
Set a target of 181 runs.
Not bad, Dwayne. Less than yesterday.
Yeah, better than yesterday. They can do what they did yesterday. They're in good shape.
Okay, Beatles is telling us here the toughest year for during World War II was 1943 for baseball. Okay, glad I heard that. So now you're on there. Now you're going to see David Warner, the one you put in. He's actually retiring this year. He just won the World Cup.
Very defendable total.
What a wonderful way for him to retire. Very controversial character, very aggressive. And you know he got banned from cricket for a while. Cricket bans are like regular.
He was the captain's why he got banned, right?
Smith was the captain at the time. Warner was the vice captain. Yep. And an illegal substance was found in the pocket of, I think the guy's name was not Cameron Bancroft. Somebody else, anyway.
So David didn't do a good job of slicking it in.
No, he just like so obvious. It's like, mate, what are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah. Beetle should have taught him how to palm it.
Yeah. There's like, so that episode we're talking to, it's like having Gaylord Perry doing his stuff on the mound, you know? And they do that in cricket all the time. It's getting caught.
More serious than baseball.
But they took it really seriously. What got me, Dwayne, was they were saying it was a disgrace. All the Australians were appalled. They're the worst. We're so appalled.
They take it a lot more serious than they do in baseball.
Oh God, yeah. These guys were thrown to the dogs.
Ouch, that looked nasty.
Here's Bumrah. Now, the Indians traditionally, over the years, India started Test cricket in 1930. They've always been known for really good wristy batsmen and spin bowlers, not pace bowlers. But in the last 20 years, as they've become more dominant, they've developed fast bowlers, and this is Bumrah, the latest one. He's injury prone, but he's got a really interesting run-up, never been seen before. And what they did in the game was obviously replicate the run-up, which is just, I've never seen anything like it. Look at it. It's like a horse.
Yeah.
Nicely
that's
played.
A good way of putting it. I call it hopping, but yeah, it's like a prancing
horse.
A new batter always likes to feel bad on balls.
There's Travis Head at the crease with David Warner. Travis Head just had a superstar innings in the real World Cup. If you Google that one, the final between India and Australia. India didn't make many runs in the one-day international game at that time, but that final was something else. And Travis Head just took over.
Well, you sometimes just have to stop and admire.
In front of 130,000 fans.
Well timed and 4 runs. That races away to the boundary.
Keep an eye on that target, 181. That's what Dwayne's team is trying to get. He picked Warner. Let's see what Warner does.
Chance to run 2. That's great fielding. That ball was flying. Yeah, nice early call. That's an easy run. End of the over. 10 off it. Australia 10 for none.
1 gone and an excellent start to this power play.
Sharma.
So Rohit is not known as a bowler. Now you can see the calculation. They need 9 runs per over. You'll see it in a second. If they do that, they win the game. If they don't, they lose. It's that simple.
Great shot, pulled straight to backward square leg though.
The combination of the 2 left-handers at the crease. Warner is a brute at this T20. He doesn't muck about. Once he's settled and gone green, he will kick out.
Oh my word, that is huge. Middle, that's a monster of a shot.
You give that much width and you are asking for trouble. That was so well timed, it flew over the boundary.
Just need to keep it simple. Line and length. Roundabout off.
So you're seeing 6 runs from Travis Head. They're both aggressive. Will that backfire against Australia? 2 aggressive batsmen at the crease. Rohit Sharma, on the other hand, is not a quick bowler. What they've done is
flex that one, simple as you like.
Is use up and over India with one of their weaker bowlers for some strange reason. Mainly because the fast bowlers were probably too quick, and the Australian batsmen were picking them off.
Yeah, well played. Could be a quick single.
So the slow bowler comes in to sort of confuse them a bit.
17 for none.
To use a spin on the pitch, yeah.
Bumrah from the pavilion end.
The nuance of the game, Dwayne, is that the longer the people are out on the pitch, the more worn the pitch becomes, and cracks start to emerge, and the spin bowlers come into play. If that makes sense.
Now, I was watching that documentary. What's the worst pitch for a bowler, condition-wise? Because they was complaining about a pitch when they played India in that tournament.
Okay, good question.
Australia.
Chance to run 2. That's great.
It's a good question. Let me see. Ooh. For batsmen, it's easy to work out. So if the pitch is dry, which this one is, and it... Ooh, that's a really good question. You say for bowlers, right?
Yeah, because they said they had a green pitch and they loved it. And then they went somewhere else in Australia and they hated the pitch.
Okay, so there's a couple of nuances. So if it's a hot day, then the batsmen are less likely to get as tired as the bowler. The bowlers will be tired, aren't they? Particularly the quick bowlers, because they're sweating, they're running in, the stamina's going to get sapped. If the pitch is green, that bit of brown that you see, if it's kind of got grass on it, it's really good for the bowlers, particularly the fast bowlers. If it's...
They said it kind of skips and slides on it.
Yeah, it depends on the pitch as well. For example, one year in God knows when it was, 1990 something, the West Indies have a famous pitch called Sabina Park. And they roll this pitch, you see. They roll it and roll it and roll it. It looked like a mirror. That's how bad. And they had to abandon the match because it was made for their fast bowlers, hard, so the ball would bounce at their throats. And it was so dangerous, they had to call the game. They said, look, you can't play this game. Someone's going to get killed. There's a bit of a documentary on that on YouTube somewhere. I think if you type in 1990 West Indies versus England, England were batting and the West Indies were licking their lips because it was just like, you know what? We're going to kill you.
Literally.
Literally. Sometimes, back in the day, in the 1950s, you know, the West Indies and the Pakistanis in particular, they can get violent. They'll throw bricks, they'll spit, they'll do everything if they don't agree with the decision. I've never seen that in baseball, ever, or American football, any American sport. Apart from the Pacers, the Malice in the Palace.
Oh, that's a biggie. Oh, that is huge. All the way for a maximum. And it's gone many rows deep.
Well, that ball has been hit.
The Beatles eternally in the chat.
To get that much power coming forward onto the front foot is just ridiculous.
It is. Cricket can be defensive. It used to be. There was a period of time in history, I think in the 1960s. Cricket drifts from different eras, like baseball. I guess baseball's more defensive. Certainly T20 is not defensive, as you can see.
That much width and you are asking for trouble. That was so well timed, it flew over the boundary.
Oh, this is looking good, Dwayne.
Hit that one on the up, a fabulous drive for 6.
Oh, that's going.
Couldn't get it through the field.
Good night, sweet prince. That's gone. That's David Warner there. See, you picked wisely.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just went green too.
Yeah.
Nice
if you get head to go green, you got a good chance. I don't know why they're bowling Sharma so much, but he's not the best of spinners. I think the AI recognizes that the two batsmen at the crease are going to use the speed of the ball from the pace bowlers and hit it all over the place. So they're trying to... The AI was trying to just take the edge off the batsman, if that makes sense. Still got 2 overs on the power play left. It's 6 overs. If they can get to 50 without loss, they've done a great job after 6 overs. This is the 5th over. That means they're well. That means they're well set for the run chase. If they get to 50 or 60, but at the end of 6 overs, the game is on. And if they stay steady for the next, say, 8 overs, keep the run rate at about 8 or 7. By the time they get to the 14th over, it's all hands on deck. Let's go for it.
Finds the fielder with that shot.
So Beatles, yeah, definitely Beatles. I mean, the dead ball era. You know, I'm a convert. I'm well converted to that era.
Flicked off the pads to deep square, just the one.
The violence, I guess I have to read. I didn't really pick up the. I think 19th century, from what I've read, I understand there was a lot of on-field violence. Those Irish. So. That's a drink. Ooh, look at that.
Down leg and helped on its way. It's high and gone. It's a maximum.
Hit that so hard. pressed forward.
That's what drinking and fighting and all that. Especially that pub, Beatles, the Ned McGreevy pub. That's a rough house pub if you ever go back in time. I don't think I've lost 1 second in there. They're so violent in there. Ned McGreevy. What a name. I've never even heard of this guy. And yet I'd watched Ken Burns' documentary the first time and it didn't register until we started playing the Ned McGreevy Dead Ball League on Beatles Eternally channel. If anyone who just pops in and wanted to see some cricket, I wonder what the hell we're talking about. Equally, anyone come and see some baseball and wondering what the hell are they doing? Ned McGreevy
couldn't get it through the field.
Was a wonderful channel.
9 runs added there. Australia are 42 for none.
It did indeed. So what's your thoughts now, Dwayne? A little update from you in terms of where your Australians are heading at the moment. They've got 1 hour of power play left, I think. Happy with everything?
They're ahead
Ashwin,
India's pace right
coming
now.
into the attack.
Yeah.
As far as where they was after 4 overs.
Now you're in trouble though, because I've picked the Indian test team, so there is a spinner about to come on called Ashwin, Ravi Ashwin. So the Indian captain has decided to turn to spin, and he's a master.
He's a ringer, huh?
Yep, he's a bit of a ringer. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's alright. That's cool.
I'm just loving that you love. I get how Beatles was with me when he was showing me Dead Ball. I really had to learn a lot about the strategy. I had no idea. I'd heard of Ty Cobb. I'd heard of, obviously, the Black Sox. And by the way, I think Beatles was telling me the 1917 Black Sox. Ooh, are an amazing team.
That races away to the boundary. Beautiful shot off the front foot. Textbook stuff.
Yeah, I bet the 1890s were. I bet old Cy Young, my favourite, got a few punches in every now and again. Cy looked like he'd handled himself in a boxing ring.
Getting nicely settled at the crease now. Would have to be very happy with that last.
So can Ravi Ashwin, the specialist test player, inveigle David Warner to make a mistake? This is mano a mano here. One of the best bowlers, spin bowlers, versus one of the best opening bats. Australia coming towards the end of the power play. Will Warner smash it out the park?
Lovely shot. Gets on the drive and powers that one over the boundary. Wonderful timing.
The big six punched out of Ender. Yeah, I just love the rabble-rousing of the dead ball. There's a book I've got, Beatles, actually.
Couldn't get it through the field. End of the over, end of the restrictions. I'm sure
there's our man Warner.
Changes coming.
5 fielders now.
David Warner.
The circle.
Charmy from the pavilion.
Make it to 60.
Well, it's still a good score without any wickets lost. See, the power play is over now.
Still close to the 9, 8 to D.
The keeper looks back as the ball hits the boundary 5 wide.
They'll start to put up the calculation any day now, any second now. So you've done the hard part. The first part of the task is to get to save 60 in 6 overs. You've done that without any loss. So and they're both green, both confident. So India really have to do something now to sort of like, well, how do we stop this? And that's when, yeah, that's where the nuance of the game comes in, because they've only got 4 overs each.
Nicely played.
So India are going to have to maybe bowl a slower ball at, say, David Warner to make him overhit, because he's so confident, he's probably going to make a mistake.
Oh, and you just did, damn it.
I did, yeah, I can see that, yeah.
A great innings coming to an end.
Look at that strike rate, not bad. 150 is really good.
Have to head back to the pavilion.
And we got Mr. Smith coming.
There you go. Here's the great, one of the greats. He's on the downside of his career now.
Smith Ready to face
there was a period of time when he'd come to the crease. I think you've seen it in the documentary. He gets hit on the head.
Yes.
Chance to run 2. Doesn't beat the infield. Worked away.
And actually, I don't think he was ever the same after that. So Australia chasing down 181. They're looking good. They've only lost 1 wicket. They have 9 intact. They're 62 for 1 in my screen. On your screen, they're probably coming up to that.
Yeah, they're 60.
Smith needs to circle in.
Nicely played.
Hi, legends. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Bit of T20. Australia versus India at the Narendra Modi Stadium. Holds 130,000.
There could be a couple if they hustle. Flex that one, simple as you like inside.
In a T20 international.
Australia, 64.
And Dwayne Martz has picked his Australian team.
It's a good
He chose a lineup and where they hit, and I'm sure in the future we'll continue to do so. And if you buy Cricket Captain, you really can go head to head with me then. Because we control the strategy more.
Finds the edge.
Right now, MB.
Say it again, sorry?
Right there. About the 9.
Trying to keep the pressure on now.
Yeah, you've done the maths, have you?
Last one, just a case of finding the
They did 116 runs from 76 balls.
Off the middle of the bat.
Oh, as long as they don't lose Travis Head. They don't want to lose Travis Head. He's in form. Yeah, learning. Dwayne is he's right up there. He's and Beatles. I think Clue's not a fan. That's safe to say.
That was a very good knock in the end. I'm sure.
As long as you don't. Oh, Head's gone.
This has been a good innings.
And we got Maxwell up next.
Now Maxwell's your ace in the hole.
That's a long way.
No, Inglis. He's a younger player. He's a kind of younger player.
And then push on.
He's kind of just English. Yeah, he's kind of untested.
Yeah.
Huge edge.
Yeah, that's the guy I'm thinking of in that documentary. He's pretty boisterous.
Which one?
This Josh guy.
Josh Inglis? I can't remember. I don't know if he was. The ones you want to watch are Stoinis and Zampa.
Josh. And then one of the guys on the team was named Josh. He was pretty vocal.
That's great fielding.
I'm trying to. Hazelwood, probably. There's a Josh Hazelwood who's one of your bowlers. But this is a crunch time now because you need the runs. You've lost 2 of the set batsmen. They were both confident. You've got 8 wickets in hand, which is still decent. But you need to score 9 runs per over. Inglis is not the guy. I don't think so. I think he's going to buckle under the pressure. However, on the flip side, India they've used Bumrah quite a few times, I think. How many overs has he got left? And Shami, they're their big bowlers. And Ashwin. So it's about how the captain now manoeuvres his bowlers as well.
Pleased with their work in that over. Kept the batters under pressure very, very well. It's something they do so well.
3 times.
It's going to be intriguing now.
Shami from the pavilion end.
Shami is a dangerous bowler.
They've only used him once.
But you have got Steve Smith. But my hope, I don't think Inglis is going to do well. I just got a feeling. He's not experienced. I don't think he's rated that high in the game.
They'll be looking to play within the V early and expand as they get settled.
That sucked.
Someone different
He's out.
to bowl at. Brings a different set of problems. I feel it's just a matter of pitching the ball up and getting them onto the front foot.
He was right.
A Rosetta Stone? What's a Rosetta Stone? I don't even know what that is.
Flying. Scamper through for a single.
Does that mean Dwayne? I don't know what a Rosetta Stone is. Now here's one of you guys that might take you home to victory is Stoinis. Him and Adam Zampa in the documentary have a very interesting way of living.
Classic cover drive, but finds the fielder at cover.
Oh, you were saying.
What's a Rosetta Stone?
Got to follow up that last delivery. Found the edge, but no.
I don't know what Legends is saying. And none should play cricket. Ooh. That's a bat. Not a paddle. Got some work to do with Legends, I tell you. It's a paddle. It's a bat. Cricket bat. It's like me saying a baseball bat's a stool, a leg of a stool. Heresy, I say. Heresy. Legends is funny.
That's great fielding. That ball was
so now Australia are in a quandary. Do they stay aggressive? Do they consolidate? Remember, the 14th over is when they're going to start kicking off again. So for the next 6 overs, if they go at say 6, 7, 8 and over, they can consolidate a little bit, and then rely on these guys.
Wobble on that ball, and it's safely taken by the keeper. Not enough on it to entice a shot down.
Rely on these guys to take them home. As long as Smith is there, you're okay. Glenn Maxwell's in the pavilion to come.
What they call that, the pavilion?
Yeah, where they sit and wait to come in.
Could be a quick single.
So the Rosetta Stone had... Oh my God, I can't pronounce this. The Rosetta Stone, if you look in the chat... Dwayne, you might be able to pronounce this better than me. Rosetta Stone was the breakthrough find that allowed us to decipher Egyptian, oh my God, hieroglyphia. What the hell is that? What's hieroglyphia? Is that writing? The Rosetta Stone had hieroglyphs on the bottom, then Greek above it. It changed archaeology forever. Okay, kind of get it. It's related to cricket, I'm not too sure. Legends, are you broadcasting tonight? Are we seeing some giants and expos? Dwayne, what season are you doing at the moment as we wait for the...
On the 61, I'm almost done, NB.
Okay.
Got about 24 games with the Yankees and about 21 or 22 with the Braves.
I haven't caught up lately. Who's topping it up at the moment? You say 61?
1961. Yeah, I think the American League's done. I think the Yankees have wrapped it up. They're 11 and a half up.
Cuts that off well in the infield.
With 24 to play. I don't see them coming back. Now the Giants and the Braves are 3.5 up, and I still think them stinking Giants are going to take the Braves. Reds are 10 games back. I don't see them coming past both the Giants and the Braves.
Tidy over. Just needed to top it off.
Well, the Reds are pretty... What are you using? Out of the park or action?
Charming from the pavilion
Apple.
end.
Oh, Apple, okay.
Yep. And using Digital Diamond just to keep the stats.
Gotcha, I know how you... Oh, wow. Now, Shammy is... I've given it away, haven't I? Shammy is a guy that moves the ball in the air, so it deviates. It's really wicked deviation as well. I don't know what ball it's called. I think it's called an off... Not an off-cutter. Yeah, an off-cutter.
Trudge back to the pavilion. A disappointing display in the end for someone with such batting skills.
It's falling apart for Australia here. Their main man, Steve Smith, not the most aggressive player, but technically their best player, is gone.
They'll be looking for another quick wicket.
Okay, so Beatles is saying, give me the context. Legend's analogy was to mean that he was wondering if there was a Rosetta Stone for deciphering cricket. Right, gotcha. Watch MV, that's the Rosetta Stone. Legends. Watch MV and Dwayne and Beatles, because I'm going to drag Beatles on another day. We'll do some cricket captain Beatles, and you can actually captain a team.
Not tempted to play at that one.
Is this his last over?
With a massive shout.
Sammy's dangerous, so he's in many ways, in the right conditions, he's better than Bumrah. Australia 71 for 4. They can't afford to lose Maxwell or Stoinis.
They just did.
He didn't even make a stroke. He's that good. I mean,
Get interesting now.
I want to make sure I haven't changed anything. No, I haven't. It's no ringers here.
Frustrated person is heading back to the pavilion.
And that's what Shammy does in real life. He can bust you up.
Pressure should be on as the new batter strides to the middle. They'll be looking for another quick wicket.
He's only got 3 more deliveries and his spell is over. He can't bowl after this. 71 for 5. The game has turned. Shammy bowling quick. He's moving the ball around off the pitch. He's bamboozling the Australians. So Marcus Stoinis at the crease, along with the all-rounder Cameron Green, has got to take Australia home. So an average of 2 runs per ball, I think. He is...
terrible shot.
Shammy is moving the ball all over the place.
Great ball, that last one, to find the edge. It's just a case of finding the same.
Imagine a knuckleballer like let's see, the Necro Brothers or a Wakefield RIP, just moving the ball all over the place, or a Greg Maddox painting the corner of the plate. This guy is doing all of it at once.
Hovering around 6 to 7 and over. They need to start taking some risks.
Kumar from the Reliance end.
And that's the end of... Yeah. You don't want to see any more Shammy.
Nobody's going to stop that one.
He actually made Stoinis go red in colour, as in the lose his confidence. If you look at the bar, I think Stoinis will be red. He just couldn't put bat on balls. His confidence has gone down. So suddenly the game's turned back to India. Well, Cameron Green's going to try and change that.
Couldn't get it through the field.
Yeah, Beatles, the Oval. The Oval is based in not far from Croydon. Talk about a second city in London, rife with crime. It's the home of Surrey Cricket Club, I believe. A very old county club. It's also where a lot of famous test matches are played, particularly in the 80s. Beatles loves it for some strange reason. I like it too. I think it has those 2 gasworks. There's some really historic stadiums in the game. I might show them at the end. I will show them at the end. Unless Legends is coming on. Beatles mistype. I just saw it, Beatles, actually. To lay at the Oval.
I'll get the single.
Okay. Thanks for showing Pure Sim today, Beatles, and the other night. It's definitely a game that I thought could have rivaled Out of the Park, but didn't.
A shot, masterful pull shot. That's going to find the boundary.
Well, it was short.
It's an old park. It's one of the oldest. Lord's obviously is the oldest, I think. Lord's is the headquarters of cricket. Kind of like the, if you don't mind me saying, so the old Yankee Stadium sort of veneer to it, or the, what's the other field park? Boston's Park. Fenway.
Has gotten the big shot away.
So you need Stoinis to bring you home now, Dwayne. He needs to stay with Cameron Green.
Big edge. End of the over in a very nicely.
Because I think India have used their best bowlers, except for Ashwin. They've kept Ashwin back. But I think Bumrah and Shami, the 2 dangerous fast bowlers, have finished. So it's still all in the balance. Although it's leaning towards India. Only 8 overs remaining.
Still honing in on
the way T20's played, Dwayne, they wait till the 14th over. More there or thereabouts anyway. To go down like in horse racing, the finishing straight. Yeah, finishing straight.
On the stretch they come.
That's it. But then India have now thrown in Ashwin to slow you down and take wickets. And that's where the game just, it's tipsy-turvy, topsy-turvy. And Ashwin has always got a wicket up his sleeve, so Cameron Green may be weak against spin, so let's see what happens. So he's bamboozling him, is he, Dwayne?
To the tail enders now. 6th wicket gone. There's not a lot left in this lineup.
And that sucked.
He's gone.
Field will come
That's
up
when
with
strikes.
Pressure should be on as the new batter strides to the middle. They'll be looking for another quick wicket.
Yeah, you're welcome, Beatles. I mean, Beatles is...
taking guard. Has been playing really well in recent
it's
matches.
fabulous.
Certainly
Well,
needs to
congratulations on
bring it back
400, by the way. I'm sure I joined you in the hundreds. You know what I mean? Ken was here, I guess, and Robbie were here from Broadcast 1, I think, or 2. And the rest of us have joined. There was a rough period when Clue joined.
That's great fielding. That ball was flying.
And the rest, rabble like me joined, and Daft Tate. And then we've had so many people. I mean, it's amazing what you've done on your channel. I know it's hard work and fun at the same time. I'm sure it's frustrating at the same time, Beatles. You know, you don't need me blowing sunshine up your arse, but your arse. But it's a great gathering spot. You know, we know there's others on the periphery who also join in, like Big Al, obviously. Al Red Sox fan, I should say. And RGL, who've got these wonderful networks of their own. Just great stuff.
Too good. Not sure anyone's gonna cut that off.
There's been some fresh blood. I consider myself fresh blood. I think I've been with you a year now. Bernie, Dwayne. You know, keep the old curmudgeons at bay. Like Clinton, Ken, and Clue. It's like if you're in a classroom, they'd be at the back.
They've been bogged down and required rates has climbed.
Let's see if we can see what happens next. Can Australia, with declining wickets in hand, can they pull it off?
Going with spin now.
India have another spinner up their sleeve called Ravindra Jadeja, who's a bit of a all-rounder, swashbuckling all-rounder. Can bat and bowl.
There could be a couple if they hustle.
But you need Stoinis. That's the only hope you've got. It's coming up to 14 overs, Dwayne. So we should start to see fireworks. It's either all on black or nothing. That's it. After 14 overs.
Nicely played. Good catch. Out.
But if Stoinis is going to have to hit out.
What a brilliant catch.
Because the run rate's too high.
The trudge back to the pavilion. A disappointing display in the end for someone with such batting skills. This one goes down as a failure.
Oh, Dwayne, it's all falling apart. Pat Cummins, although he's a bowler, he can bat. It's a one more chance, I think. Although it's 90 for 7, not looking good.
Finds the middle, but won't find the boundary.
What's the math on it, Dwayne?
I don't see the score up there right now, MD. They got Cummings coming in.
Pat Cummins, the captain, at the crease. Ravindra Jadeja has already taken a wicket. Cummins is going to have to play himself in for an over, maybe. And then they're just going to have to go hell for leather. But they've only got 3 chances left. 91 for 7. India got the boot on Australia's head. Hope that doesn't offend anyone.
Dan Meredith.
I thought that was passing, but a fantastic dive to cut it off.
It's going to be good.
All you working people go to bed.
Yeah. Are you back to work now, Dwayne? Because it's your season now, isn't it?
Long time, but there's a fielder out there.
No, I'm still off until the 12th, NB.
Okay,
Really
good man.
clever. Takes a wicket and keeps it tight.
Yeah.
Somehow
I
they've
got surgery
to
on
find some
Tuesday.
boundaries.
Oh, good luck. It's not too serious, but I
I ain't
hope.
as scared as I was now.
Really?
It wasn't as bad as I thought. I was scared to death. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, thank God that
Yeah.
it's not too bad,
A
though.
lot better than I thought it would.
You've had it, or you're going to have it?
Knocked me out. I don't remember a darn thing about it. They
Oh, you
said
had
I
it?
was asleep,
Oh, you had it already?
I had my left eye done, and then I go Tuesday and get my right eye done.
God bless you,
So
man.
right now it's kind of screwed up because my left eye, I don't need my glasses, but then I need my glasses for my right eye. So it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah, I need to get some glasses. God bless you, man.
That's
Well, I hope
great
it wasn't
fielding.
too painful.
That ball was flying.
No, I wasn't worried about the pain, MV. I was worried about the oops.
The what? The oops?
The oops. I didn't want him saying oops. I thought I'd be coherent and be able to hear him say oops too.
That's funny.
They don't knock you out, but they They make it so you don't remember crap. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, God, that's funny. I mean, I was at the dentist the other day. Gee, I was saying oops all the time because it was so clean. Oh, gee, that was so painful. Not that it wasn't extraction; it was just cleaning my teeth. But of course, they're drilling away, and I'm like, oh my God, that was painful. I said, "Will you you okay?" I'm like,
I've had it where the Novocaine started wearing
one
off.
on offer.
And I just tell them to get done. They're like, well, we'll give you more. I'm like, just get
End of
done.
the over.
yeah, get it over and done with.
Australia, a 95 for 7.
It's not hurting that bad. I'm grabbing the arm of the chair. I ain't that bad.
Clue's giving me stick now. No more painful than anything else MV has to say. Hey, cheeky so-and-so. Let's see now, can Sean Abbott bring something to the table? Australia in the 14th over, 15th over. They're going to have to go for it. That's when they go for it. They're going to try to hit everything for 6 or 4. You're going to see shots all over the place.
That's great fielding. That ball was flying.
It's over.
Stamp it through for a single. Good running.
You think so?
They need to get 6s. They need to get like 3 6s every over, don't they?
They can do it. But the Indian bowling is, the spinners are pretty good. Jadeja and Ashwin, they are world class, particularly Ashwin. He would be, if he had a Hall of Fame, Pat Cummins would get in there eventually. Jadeja would make it for his all-round play, but he'd be in the Hall of Very Good.
That's a solid shot.
A bit like Harold Baines. Oops, Baines is in the Hall of Fame. I think Ashwin would definitely be a Hall of Famer. Kohli, Virat is a Hall of Famer. Warner will be a Hall of Famer. Smith will be a Hall of Famer eventually. If they had a Cricket Hall of Fame, they'd be in there.
If I was managing these guys MV, I'd rather them pop that ball up and get 10 wickets. Legend be
Well
the
timed,
death
but
like
there's a
this.
fielder out there.
Well, I'm going to give you a shot at managing properly, if you've got time, that is, with Cricket Captain, and maybe not tonight, but up to you. Because Cricket Captain, you could actually, yeah.
I gotta put drops in mine.
Yeah, God bless you, man. But we'll do Cricket Captain next time, because you can control a bit more. And you know the players a bit more as well.
Good shot, a beauty.
Well, what a lovely shot.
So Dwayne thinks it's over.
Clearly not the type of delivery to be bowling.
Dwayne thinks it's over. You never know in T20. It's not over until the fat lady sings.
Too happy with their bowler at the moment.
Warming up, I guarantee you that.
You think it's done? You think it's over? But Bumrah's got 2 overs left, so yeah, you're probably right. Let's see what happens.
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Because Bumrah's quite accurate.
I'm not hired Cosell. I'm Dan Meredith. I'm realistic. I ain't trying to keep the audience here.
What is Meredith say at the end when you said it yesterday?
He says turn out the lights to parties there.
Point with a stupendous catch.
Howie, as he always called him, instead of calling Howard would say something stupid like, Dan, they can come back, and he'd say Howie. Come on, Howie.
The opening batters out there in the field are starting to prepare themselves for their
There
own
we
innings.
go.
You're right. It's looking like the end, folks. As Australia are going to fall short like they did last night. This is the second game we played, funny enough. This time Dwayne had an influence on the Australian team. At least David Warner paid off, didn't he?
Yeah, it looked good at the beginning.
This is everything.
Sure went to the hell in a handbasket.
That's cricket for you.
I thought I was in pretty good shape.
You were.
6 over.
Your first objective was done, but this is actually their test team, to be honest. Although, like I said, if you're playing the T20 team, it would have been closer. But a lot of Australia's players play all 3 formats, whereas the Indian players are a little bit older. Or, like, Virat's coming towards the end of his career. So he only plays mostly Test and one-day international cricket.
They'll push hard, should get back for 2. That's great fielding. That ball was flying.
And at the end of the career,
end of the over. 5 runs coming from it. Australia, 110.
Clue and I are looking at a game at the moment, little projects offline. Clue was, if you don't mind me, Clue, I'll just say the 1962 Mets using Allen Park to see how we each would do.
That's an outstanding shot. Saw it early. Not much.
See what changes we would do to see if you could A, beat the record of the 1962 Mets, which should be difficult, but also if we do career play, how would it pan out over a few seasons, I guess. It should be intriguing. It's offline. 114 for 6. For 8. As Dwayne says, it'll have to be 6s, although we came to that yesterday, Dwayne, and actually we saw a lot of 6s.
No need to move.
Yeah, we did. But it wasn't these batsmen.
No, it wasn't these batsmen, though. These are the bowlers batting at the moment.
Well timed, but there's a fielder out there.
We haven't seen a scoop today, have we?
That ball was flying.
Yeah, this is
for a single good running.
This is just to have a bad bet.
Yeah. Just a bit of pre-20 cricket, folks, as we come to the end of it. Showing off cricket 24. Dwayne Martz has picked the liner for Australia.
Square cut.
He's given it a shot.
The over comes to an end. Not many runs coming off it. Both sides need to inject some life into this match.
Beatles will have to fix a date for you to come on the cricket. Maybe cricket captain or cricket 24. I think you're confident enough to go on cricket captain, I think. And if you get the game, we can all play online or play online if you do get it as well, Dwayne. I don't think Clue will be adding to the coffers of the makers of either game. It's strictly baseball. Just 2 overs left. It's all over.
Zampa advances and throws a batter.
Unless we see 6 sixes, 11 sixes in a row. Actually, or 10 sixes.
Really not the type of delivery to be bowling here.
And against Bumrah, that's not going to happen. This is what happens in real life. Sometimes the game is over, but they still have to play it to the end.
That shot's nicely played, and it was 4 runs all the way.
Is that because of the bet line?
I don't think will be too
Say again?
happy with their bowler at the moment.
Is that because how much money's bet on it? Is that
Oh yeah, big time. Part of it's that, because there's a lot of scandals, particularly in the 90s and the early 2000s. There was a guy called Hansie Cronje, a South African. He was a golden boy of South African cricket. He was the South African captain. He got caught out with match fixing, along with the Indian captain at the time. His name was Mohammed Azharuddin. Anyway, a few Aussies were caught out in that too, but they got away with it. It's a bit like Al Chase did.
Mathematically, it's no way they can do it.
They can't, unless Bumrah falls down. They're not going to do it. And this is still.
Somebody wants to throw about 20 wide ones.
It can happen, but it's not going to happen. The chances of that like 1,000,000 to 1.
Exactly. That's when you know the fix is in.
But with going back to Cronje, Hansie Cronje so Cronje got called out as a golden boy of South African cricket, and South African cricket has only recently, at the time in the 90s, been readmitted back into the sporting world. Anyway, he got called out match fixing. He denied it at first, but then he was found guilty, and he, just like shoeless Joe Jackson, he was banned from cricket for life. The sad part about Hansie Cronje. Yeah, can you imagine? It was all on TV. If you type it in Hansie Cronje, you'll see it. Cronje, Cronje.
Classic cover drive, but finds the
and Hansie Cronje was banned from cricket. So he had a big fall from grace. And he was flying in an airplane one day, like a year or so later.
Africa's good in rugby too, aren't they?
Say it again.
I said South Africa must have a lot of good athletes.
Oh yeah, they're great. They won 2 consecutive Rugby World Cups. They just won it 6 weeks ago. And that is also made by this game company. It's called Big Ant. They do lacrosse, Aussie rules, which is just like the man's game. You won't be seeing any women. You won't be seeing any women play that game. They do rugby union, rugby league, cricket, tennis. They do a great tennis game called AO Tennis 2. Maybe it's up to the third version. As we come to the end of the match now, coming up, as Big Clue says, Frank Thomas, the other one, Hoban in the second. Oh, you started it, Clue. So Clue is kicking off his 1962 replay. He's shuffled his lineup around, I believe. I'm yet to start that. And let's see now. Dwayne, coming towards the end. So Coronia died in this air crash, yeah, and it's obviously suspicious. It's coming to the end now. There is a way to speed it up, Michael, which is sim.
That's a great win. Really
there we go.
First innings displayed, but enough runs on
it's for the purist, Clue. It's for the purist, dead ball.
Great bowling.
And that is that. Dwayne, nice try.
Yeah. Started out well.
Well, there's only one team really in it today. An exceptional display that saw a very...
So Rahul scored 46 off 29 balls.
Hope to see you again very soon.
And there's the bowling figures. I'm going to go into that today. But Warner didn't do too badly. 30 from 22 balls. Travis Head, he had a good start. 59 runs before somebody dropped down. But after that, nobody.
Exactly.
And the Dane... didn't do... That's cricket. And for us, the killer for you, or for India, was Shami and Jadeja.
Oh,
so that
he got a duck. I forgot when you don't score, you get a duck.
Duck, a golden duck, his first ball.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's embarrassing if you get out first ball. Is that what happened to Maxwell?
Yeah, he got a duck. Yeah.
No, he got a duck, but not a golden duck. Which at the bottom you can see Josh Hazelwood did. When it's yellow, it's a golden duck. First ball, embarrassing. But Glenn Maxwell did get a duck, and that's just shameful. Not even a run. So, folks, thank you very much for this hanging in there. A bit of a T20.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and Beatles is right. I prefer the chat. Just chatting about the game or baseball or any game, really. And if you're watching T20 cricket live, like real T20, it's really exciting. And all forms of the game have their own merit. But if it's new to you, you might not see the nuances of it. But Dwayne, what do you think of your second game of T20? Watching it and certainly playing.
Good, like you say. I thought I had a shot at you, MB. But it didn't pan out.
It didn't pan out. But that's just... Next time we'll do a game where you can actually manage the strategy ball by ball or over by over. You can choose the aggression of the batsmen, the aggression of the bowlers, where they bowl it, the pitch, and it's a bit more like baseball that way. So, Dwayne, thank you so much, man. Any questions any questions at all before we call it a day?
Yeah.
You're good? Right, so, folks, thank you everyone that came in today, and the heckling from Big Clue. Because he's saying 2 ducks and then you get a goose. So I don't know who's on next, if Legends is going on, or Sports Time Machine if he's still here. Michael, thanks for coming in. Big Clue, thanks for coming in. Beatles, thanks for hanging in there as well. You had a wonderful stream today with your stuff. Big Clue wants to hear a Chris Slovic call a cockfight in the slums of Bangkok. And by the way, Chris is probably watching a lot of, well, I assume he's in Pakistan. I'm assuming he's watching a lot of cricket. He said he wanted to watch a cricket game. Legends, welcome. Thank you for being here as well. And everybody else that came in.
MB?
Huh?
The Pakistanis, are they pretty good?
Mercurial is the best way to put it. In the 1950s is when Pakistan was created, I believe. They were novices. 1960s, not that great, but they didn't play that many test matches in the time. But in the 1970s, they built a really rebellious, long-haired, mustached team that found a way to cheat. So They were the real originators of scratching the ball and altering its shape. And there's some famous players. One of them is still very famous to this day, Imran Khan, who was previously Prime Minister of Pakistan. He was a playboy in the 1970s, like very handsome man. Went out with James Goldsmith's daughter, a billionaire, and he got into Pakistani politics. Very well-known figure. It was assassination attempt on him recently. But he was a cricketer, and he really lifted Pakistani cricket in the 1970s, along with some great batsmen as well. One in particular, if you look at the videos I've been uploading, the title screen, there's a picture of a batsman and a bowler fighting. And that is, one of them is called Javed Miandad, and the other one is Dennis Lilly. I mentioned him earlier, from Australia. And then this fight on the pitch where Miandad's wielding a bat and Lilly's just trying to defend him with his fists. It was quite funny at the time. This is like late 1970s. But Pakistan, obviously they were a national identity at the time. They were only 20 years old at the time. So when they played cricket, again, it's an empire game, isn't it? So they were very much looked down upon in those days. So they found a purpose and a cause to fight. And on the cricket ground, that's exactly what they did do. They competed. Pakistan produced great batsmen, or good batsmen, very good batsmen, but they're very good at the bowlers who swing the ball. In the 90s, it was Wasim, I've forgotten the name now. Wasim and Waqar and Wasim. They called the two W's. They used to run up, scratch the ball. So it wouldn't scratch immediately. They let the ball get a bit old first, in test matches in particular. Then they would use a sharp something in their pockets, like you saw in the documentary, and they scratch the ball, and the ball would, I can't imagine, it's kind of like in Deadball, where Carl Mays would use a spitball, or somebody would doctor the ball like Gaylord Perry. Imagine two Gaylord Perrys playing cricket at the same time, one from one end and one at the other. It was that blatant, it was that bad. And of course, but they were devastating as well. They had talent. They were fast, they would intimidate, particularly Waqar. He'd bowl at your feet.
Ain't cheating if you don't get caught.
Exactly, and I love the way they played the game. The West Indies were the ones that were the flamboyant ones, the dominant ones in the 80s, a bit of the 70s and 60s. The Aussies, like I said, they're just competitive. Doesn't matter how bad their team is, they will compete, apart from tonight. Then you have the New Zealanders, who are like the DNA of them is the bridesmaids. They tend to be the bridesmaids of cricket, always in the semi-finals of international cricket. They do produce good cricketers, but not necessarily, a bit vanilla, if that makes sense. Just don't know what that is, but they have great players in there.
Australia?
No, Australians will beat them up every day. It's their big brother, isn't it? So they're always fighting with each other. You have, I'll just get rid of this screen. 1 second, just get rid of this as I close this up. You have players like other teams, like India, like I said, traditionally great batsmen, stylish batsmen. Not the best fast bowlers, although this era they do, but mostly known for spin in the 1970s. And in the 1980s, they won a very famous World Cup, which actually turned India around. The perception of the Indian people began to change after they won the Cricket World Cup of 1983, where they built the champion and favourite West Indies. And there's actually a film called 1983, and it changed India's confidence, and that's why we have the India that we have today. Not why, but it did help, because suddenly they just became, their national identity changed. They were winners all of a sudden. So that's a true story. I don't know if it's a fact, but it's certainly what is the popular consensus as to why India changed its own self-image. Because again, they were part of an empire, weren't they, until, 1948, 47? So they began to change. So a lot of cricket is wrapped up in empire. The old empire, and the British taught the game to everyone, so everyone wants to beat England. That's it. You know what I mean? Like, if West Indies can play rubbish against everyone else, they cannot lose to England. They just refuse to lose. The Aussies hate the English as much as Beatles. The West Indies and Australians used to have a very big rivalry, but the West Indies have really dropped off. India and Pakistan went to war, so you can just imagine what they're like on the cricket pitch. At one point, I think they didn't play each other because there was just too much violence. You just could not play those matches together. Now they can play. I can't think of anyone else, to be honest. Top major country. Sri Lanka, bit of the little brother of it, but they're still a good team. Have won the World Cup for ODI, one-day internationals. And the last team I can think of, top of my head, Afghanistan have been playing recently and playing pretty well. And I think Bangladesh is probably the junior of the most established test nations. And that, in a nutshell, Dwayne, is that. But I'll let you do your own research, because you seem to be doing it on your own and doing a pretty outstanding job, to be honest. I'm impressed. I'm so impressed. So, but anyway, I will leave you to it. I'm going to jump into my Mets thing and see if I can outdo Clue, which I probably will. Okay, listen, thanks so much, Dwayne. I'll definitely be on touch with you on Discord. You're welcome, and I'd love to see some racing on your Play Games racing, because...
Yeah, as soon as I get... Well, me and Troy did a race on...
Recently?
Friday. Yeah, Friday. And
on
now,
YouTube?
As soon as I get my... Yeah, as soon as I get my darn... No, it was car racing. As soon as I get my darn right eye done, then I'm going to do a lot more different stuff. The good thing about APA is the cards are so big, it's easy for me to see. The rest of the games are hard for me sometimes now.
Oh man, I'm
especially
so sorry.
Now that I need to take my darn glasses off sometimes and put them back on. That's annoying.
Oh wow!
I'm used to not having glasses on. I've had glasses ever since I was in the 5th grade.
Wow, I don't wear them anymore. I just wear my my contact lenses. That's what gets me through the day, really.
Well, see, I can't do contact lenses. I'm scared to death to touch my eye.
Oh really?
I was scared to death. Oh man. MV, I ain't lying when I said I was scared to go in there and do that.
And the oops
I'm not
moment.
scared of a lot of stuff, man. I was with eye surgery. I don't even like to say. I don't like the idea of touching my eye at all. Even myself. Sure.
Man, I'll touch my eye even if I'm eating hot pepper sauce. I just, having shrimp with some Tabasco sauce. I'm still taking out my contact lenses. I suppose you get used to it, you know. I'm just putting on screen just for the moment, anyway, because I think Clue had done this, and I just think I'm looking for my 1962 season of not going to play it, but I just want to see. There's a guy called Ron Hunt, who was a second baseman for the New York Mets. Now, if you have to go, don't hold on for me. But I love your company. But if you have to sort yourself out, do what you need to do. But I just want to see the New York Mets in 1962. This is the 62 season, using Out of the Park. I'm looking for Ron Hunt. He's not there. That's the lineup for the 62 Mets anyway. Richie Ashburn, as you know these players pretty well. But there's no Ron Hunt, so I'm going to go into the minor leagues. How do you find the minor leagues on here? Beatles, where are you?
Homepage. There you go.
Info home.
The team's on the right.
Oh yeah. So he should be on the. Actually, shouldn't I just search for him? Yeah. Look, up top right. You're probably following what I'm doing at the moment on screen. Let's have a look. Ron Hunt. Yeah, I found him. Ron Hunt is 21 years old, and I was saying to Clue earlier, we were just talking away about baseball, Mets in particular. And I said I'd probably want to promote Ron Hunt really early if I was doing a replay of the 62 season. And in this case, it's a career one. I'm just trying to see how good he becomes in real life. He actually plays until 1974. Wow. I didn't know that. There's something about Ron Hunt.
He's giving you grief, man.
What's he saying? What's he saying?
Giving you grief. He's telling you what's going on, and then he's giving you hell because you're not reading it.
Yeah, but that's fine, Clue. So well, the thing is, Clue, I don't know how you set your 1962 up. I put the minor leagues in because it's still your choice, isn't it? Because I'm thinking if I was the GM, which by the way wasn't it the same GM? Is it Weiss? There was a GM of the 1962 Mets. I'm pretty sure the one that was the Yankees GM became the GM of the Mets. So what I've done, Clue, I'm looking at it and thinking, I'm just trying to think now. You read the chat, you get. He says, "Hey, you're right. It was giving me crap." I'm just looking here at Ron Hunt. So what I would do, Clue, I'd bring him up immediately. You know, because I'm thinking I know he's going to be good. And let's just quickly see the Mets again. Standings. Who's the second baseman in 1962? New York Mets. 62 Mets. Charlie Neal. Really? Really? He needs to sound like Stephen A. Smith. I don't want to do that. But I...
Don't do that now.
No, I can't stand the man, to tell you the truth. He's so full of you-know-what.
Yeah.
I would probably... If you look at... How do you look at the roster, Dwayne? I should know this because I've been playing this game for years.
You can go up to...
Mets, yeah.
Mets home.
Home, yeah.
Home page. Yep. And then it's like meet the team there.
Oh, yeah. I want to look at the roster. You know, like you look at the organization. Well, Clue says Ron Hunt was a Brave in 1962. Which I believe you, Clue. Don't get me wrong. I trust you. But in here, he's a Met. So he must have had a split season. And the database has put him right in the Mets instead of the Braves. Let's have a look. You should know this, Dwayne, because you're a Brave fan. Do you see this?
See where it says there, top players.
He was in the Texas League, according to this. But I believe Beatles would probably speak to this better than I. It picks up his minor league team, but not any cup of coffee he might have had. So Cruz is shouting at me, "You can't bring him up? Why not? Why not? Read the damn chat." I do what I want. I'm the GM. I'm the GM, Clue. So Clue is saying you can't bring him up. He's not on your team. He is on my team. Well, put it this way. Watch this. Watch closely, Clue. And you'll have the answer to your question any minute now. Watch this. He does give me shite. He does. He really does. Right, watch this. Watch, Clue. This is why the Manchester Red Bulls Nation of One is demanding that... Dwayne, where do you get the... I want to see the whole organization. Here we are. Organization. Here we go. Right? So if I tend to look at it this way. If I'm doing a GM game, which is very rare, I want my guys with potential, my overalls first to stay in the lineup if I can. The second baseman is nowhere near there. He's probably one of the worst. Where is he? Where's Charlie Neal? Can you find him for me, please? See, Dwayne? Call Charlie and say, "Charlie, you're not going to stay on the roster." Is there a better second baseman than Charlie Neal? There's another way of looking at this. I still can't find it. You know where you can see the whole organization and the baseball data?
I'm not sure what you mean. You can go to the lineups.
No, there's a way you can look at the
depth chart.
Yeah, depth chart. That's what I want to do. Where do I find? I should know this.
Yeah, go to lineups.
Yeah. Ah, here it is.
Lineups.
Graphical depth chart. There we go. So I'm looking at this. I'm thinking Frank Thomas, 3 stars, 32 years old. He's got to go soon. Richie Ashburn, 34. He's definitely going to go soon. But I'll leave. If I had a season of this stuff, I'd want to keep Richie. Right field, Joe Christopher, 3.5 stars. Yeah, I believe you, Clue. I believe you. It is definitely wrong, Clue, but I do think that's an anomaly now in the park with the minor leagues on. There are some seasons for some strange reason it does put. I totally agree with you. If you're telling me he was a Brave, I agree he was a Brave because I trust your knowledge. Unfortunately, he's a Met. Elio Chacon, and he did become a Met eventually, didn't he, in 62. There's Charlie Neal. So what I want to do, it's got Don Zimmer. I said, bye, Don. We don't need you. What's his name? Rod Cannell? Is it Rod Cannell? Is that what I'm seeing on screen? Yeah. Are you still there? You still there, Dwayne?
Yeah, I'm way behind you on here.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I'm so lost. You're clicking on Zimmer right now.
Oh, I see. I'm a little bit ahead on that. I'll see what your screen is saying. It's easy, isn't it? Yeah. I'm just looking at who I would get rid of immediately. But what I would do, because I know that Ron Hunt is going to be good, I'd be saying to Don Zimmer, what would you say to Don Zimmer? I'd say, Don, it's time to go. Wouldn't you? How do I get rid of Don Zimmer? I've actually forgotten. I've played so much Action PC and non-GM that I've actually forgotten how the damn thing works.
I've never done that on here. I've just done the World Series and a few odd games.
I know why. GM. I know why, because I'm not actually the GM. That's probably why. That's exactly what it is. Jim Smith is not the GM. So if I go to Manager Options, I have to make myself the manager of the Mets. Right, I'm not even in commissioner mode, which I thought I was. There we are. Which includes, if we're doing a head-to-head, me and Clue, who's the better GM, I suppose I better take that off, right? I mean, I'm going to win this. I'm going to win this hands down against him anyway. He knows this. That's why it's giving me so much crap. I'll leave it for now anyway. Clue, you're lucky. I'll end the broadcast on that note. I didn't say I have a bitty head, no. Click on play or release player, yeah. I have to go into Clue and actually assign myself as the manager of the Mets. I'm trying to work out, remember how to actually do that. Beatles is still in the crowd. Please let me know. It's been that long. It should be here, right?
The manager's options down there.
Manager options, yeah. My role is to be the GM. How do I now assign myself to the 62 Mets? You need to be in commissioner mode to make the change in team. Right. But what I want to do, Beatles, thanks as well for that. I want to make sure... Oh, you know what it is? Because I've just done a cricket broadcast. I can't get my baseball head back on. Or my out of the park head back on. GM, playing commissioner mode. Yeah. Now, Dwayne, what am I doing now? I want to manage the Mets. Without starting the game from scratch all over again. How do I do that? MV doesn't like commissioner mode. Obviously, press God mode. Act as, yep, thank you, Beatles. Can you see it, Dwayne? When you see the screen in a minute. Beatles probably... act as, got it. Got it. Acting as a manager does not take away the computer control of the team. It's for temporary control only. To properly take control of a team, please go to the available job screen, which you can find in the manager menu, okay? There we are, got it. Thanks, Beatles. I think I don't need to apply as GM because I'm already temporarily the GM, so this to come back out. Sorry, Dwayne, I'm boring you here.
Oh, you're fine.
I'm just trying to...
I'm just so many screens behind you.
That's all right. That's all right. General manager. Oh God. Beatles gave me the right information. I know he did, but I always have to go back on that. Anyway, I get it. I have to go to act as GM. Got it. I really want to take friendly. It's a friendly competition with myself and Clue. Anyone's free to join that one. 62 season, can you beat? And you can call up Ron Hunt. Beatles said act as. Apart from when I set it up brand new, I've actually forgotten how to do this. Anyway, it looks like I'm the Mets GM. So I should be able to do the trading organization. And I should be able to do it.
You wanted to click on take that off of playing commissioner mode.
Take it off, right? Okay.
Yeah, you did. I don't think you wanted to do that.
Yeah.
Like I say, I'm behind you.
Got it. It's back in again. Now then, if I go to home screen, I'm trying to look it up for Beatles. You can ignore that. Do act as and make any changes you wish. Right, and Beatles say this is funny. Got it, Beatles. Right, got it. I'm now the manager of the Mets. The David Carradine of baseball. Beatles, I knew your head would hurt after this. Right, here we go. Now I'm the Mets fan. Right, Mets manager. Right, here we go. Watch this, Dwayne. This is how you manage a roster, okay? Not that you don't know. This is MV Nation of One style, right? I will look for... So I'm going to look at Charlie. I'm looking at the ages. That's what I do first. See who's got to go. Gil Hodges, you've got to go. Right? So I'm ruthless. Bye-bye, Gil Hodges. So is he worth putting as a trade? Let's see what we can get for a trade. Okay, so I go to trade.
Hodges on the team to sell tickets, NV.
That's a good point.
Hodges, yeah.
Are you really looking at the tickets? Are you going to look at the I'm going to trade. I'm going to shop him around. This feature here, let's see what we get. You never know. Because of what you just said, he may have some value, right? True? So if I shop now, See, this is how you do it. This is how I do it, I should say. Right, so I'm looking at Clue, are you watching? And don't cheat. Yep. I'm looking at this thinking, right, who can I get for him? Someone young, a first baseman ideally would be nice. Even though I'm not looking at the strengths. Arroyo is free. Good save percentage, 2.19. Who's Luis Arroyo? Remind me again, please, Dwayne. He's a bit old. Anyone to stand out on here?
61, he was awesome with the Yankees.
Well, I'll take it because I'm going to do a Brad Pitt Moneyball thing and just say, you know what, he looks good. I don't care. Venafro, yeah. But the salary is $49,000. No, I won't have him, actually. You know, anybody else that you can see on here, potential or overall? Probably Bob Neiman, 35-year-old left fielder, looks good. What do you think? And my type of baseball isn't necessarily to play any philosophy. It's just to bring some young players in to beat Clue. That's it. That's it. It's not to play winning baseball. It's to beat Clue at his build. I think
you're cracking me up.
I think Bob Neiman's a trade. Here we go. That's just the Cleveland Indians, or Guardians as they are. Happy with that? Yep, I'm happy with that. Just want to get him off the roster. Right, go to organization. This is how I play out on the park. This is some Red Bolt GMing here, right? Where am I going, Dwayne? Just remind me. Here we are. Organization, so I need to find this guy, right? Where would he be? The guy I just traded for.
He should be on your team if you traded for him, right?
Yeah, what's he? Was a left fielder, right? I don't see him anywhere. Where is he? Not on the block. There's a drop down maybe that I've not used. Here we are. Beatles, where would he be? I've traded him. Players designated for assignment. There you go. Bob Neiman, you welcome to the Mets. Bring your glove and your weak bat into the lineup. There we go. So here we go. Just keep your eye glued. Keep your eye glued, folks. For those of you who are still in the chat. Here we go. I'm just showing Clue how it's done. In about 5 minutes, I'll be over. So we got the second basemen here, right? I've got 2 second basemen, Charlie Neal, and I've got Rod Cannell. I know Cannell's younger, so goodbye, Charlie. Let's shop Charlie around. The thing is, it's like, why am I keeping these guys? Here we go. Shop now is a feature that I like, and I like this feature where I can do prospects, regulars, or veterans. But I'm shopping around, so I already see Deacon Jones, a first baseman that I kind of like already. I can see Don Buford, a 25-year-old prospect, it looks like. I can see Don Dillard. If you know any of these players, please let me know, because I'm not familiar with all the 60s players in particular. There's Chuck Tanner. I can see Chuck Tanner there. Bill Tuttle looks good. Anything catch your eye, Dwayne? Johnny Weekly looks pretty good. Steve Blass. You're seeing them in a little bit after me. Okay, got it. I got Tim McCarver. Let's trade for him. And I'm only going on reputation here. Organization. Go to the Mets homepage. Team home screen. Organization. Designated for assignment. I didn't trade him. Apologies. Let's have a look here. Trade for Don. Then you'll have a Dillard playing for a Dillard. Oh, dear. Okay, well, that's it then. I'm going to leave it at that. But that's how I do it. I will literally go to the ages, get rid of who I don't want, and that's that. You know what I mean? And that's how I play it. I seem to have lost that player I just traded for. And if I just do this, Dwayne, as I wrap it up, I think I'm going to play offline, like I said, and see how Clue gets on. So, Dwayne, thanks for being here today. Much appreciated. As we wonder how Bob Newman's going to go. Look at that stat, though. He looks good, right? What do you think? I think Dwayne's still there, actually. So I will wrap it up as I've lost Dwayne, and I'll probably cut the stream by accident, as usual. So, guys, thank you so much. Been a fun tonight. I know I was being light-hearted with it, and the cricket was a bit of a long one. But Dwayne, thank you very, very much for being here tonight. Much appreciated. And Clue and Beatles, thanks for hanging in there. Mike, who came in earlier. Sports Time Machine came in. Legends came in. Loads of people came in tonight. Thank you very much. Clue, I'm in the Discord. Beatles, I'm in the Discord. If you want to have a look at this 62 Mets and have a shot at it as well, because I know you love you did a 62 Mets. I think Beatles Eternal did a 62 Mets game on Action. That was pretty good too. I can't remember who was playing. I think we mixed up the teams. I think we put Negro Leaguers, or you put Negro Leaguers, or was it Steve, on the 1962 Mets. I think it was the catcher. I can't remember his name. But Josh Gibson, of course. But anyway, guys, see you later. I'm out.